Hey guys, what's going on? Thank you so much for taking the time to check out Critical Dragons Episode 2. I want to go ahead and put an editor's note to explain some of the malfunctions that happened during the session that we're having, so you weren't caught off guard. For instance, my camera does die midway through the session, which kind of sucks. You still get to hear my beautiful voice, and you get to see the players, but I forgot to charge it the night before, so that is kind of a shame. And another big shame, this is the big one that I really wanted to explain, is that in the last 20 or 25 minutes, the session, the audio just goes completely nuts, and it's just like, and you just can't comprehend anything that is being said. And that's such a shame, because a lot of the players got a big reveal that happened, and I'll post some of the pictures while I'm explaining it so you can see their reactions, but It just really sucks because it was really big. It was a lot of build up that was happening towards the end, and hey, things happen. Technical issues. What can you do? But I do also want to note that we are getting a better mic for the players this next session. I know we were using a webcam audio for everyone because it's the only thing omnidirectional that we could use. But I actually purchased a real omnidirectional mic for us to use, so the next session should have this. You'll be noticing we have an overlay now, and we're heightening the quality of this so you guys have a better viewing pleasure. If you have any suggestions on how to improve, any recommendations, or if you just want to just say something, just say, hey, I really like your stream, blah, 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 it would mean a lot to us. It also would mean a lot if you can like it, hit the bell icon to stay up to date to all our content, and give it a share, because we want to try to make something happen. I don't think it'll be like the next Critical Role or anything like that, but it's a fun little thing that me and these guys, it's a passion that we all share, and it's something really fun that we like to do, and we want to get you guys involved as well. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go so you guys can go ahead and get to watching. Thank you again for watching this, and I'll catch you guys in the world of Yorn. Later. Hey guys, what's going on? Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this video. Welcome to the second episode of Jay's Dungeon. That one was a joke.
It was definitely a joke.
But a lot of people have been messaging me being like, so when's the next episode of Daddy's Dungeon? And I'm like, okay, first of all, that was a joke. And second of all, soon. I want to give a big shout out to Anthony, who's been keeping track of it, saying he's very excited, guessing a few things. We have a few other people like Rod, who's been asking about it. A lot of you people have been very interactive with it, and it's really cool to see you guys interact with the passion that me and all these guys share. Today, joined with Eric.
Who am I?
Kendall.
Hey. Hi.
Tim, and the one you can't see, that guy, Trey.
Wow, okay. That guy.
We put Porthos in a corner.
Yeah. We are getting the mic in the next session, so this will probably be the last time you hear of us doing through a webcam. So the sound quality should be better in the next one. As you can see, we got an overlay now, so the visuals are going to be a little bit better. Below me, there's like a little box that I'll put like little visuals and stuff to help you guys. Right now, it's just black to us. Right, you could probably, I'm going to put images here. Yeah, and all this other stuff. But other than that, yeah, I don't really think there's anything else that needs to be announced. Do you guys have any other announcements that you want to say before we start?
Hilarious.
I'm sorry?
Do you guys have any other announcements you want to say before we start?
First off, I would like to thank all 300 plus people who viewed the last video. That was a very big thank you to you guys. I was really kind of astonished how within a week we broke 300 for basically a bunch of unknown guys. And I would really like to thank y'all for that.
Or unknown.
I ain't gonna fuck yourself. If y'all would like to know more about our characters, what we're planning on doing or anything like that, feel free to message us or say anything in the comments on Facebook. I will try to answer as much as I know. I don't know about Kendall, Tim, and Trey, but I'm sure we'll all be more than happy to answer the questions y'all are giving us.
Yeah, no, Center's a pretty much open book, so anytime you want to talk to me, yeah, anytime.
But going back to what I was saying, please feel free to message us. We do not mind. And I hope y'all will continue to follow our kind of crazy story, and let's see where this goes. Thank you all very much.
Yeah. Also,
Namaste.
second note on to follow up with that.
Yep.
I forgot my notes and everything at work again. And there's a couple things that needs to be hashed out. The dwarf's name, I don't remember if I said it on the first episode or not. But in case I did, it is revamped to Boulder. Boulder. Right now, everyone knows it's Boulder. Boulder. Everything else, though, I think is pretty much the same. Maybe not the father's name. I don't know if I said it last session, but it's Father Trish. Just in case everyone has any words about that. It's Father Trish. And the only last thing I think of is, if you like this video and you like what we're doing, make sure to like and to share it and to hit that little bell icon so you can stay up to date to all things Daddy.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Well, there's no subscribe.
Yeah, there's no
No subscriptions.
We're not on YouTube yet.
We're not on YouTube, but if this goes on YouTube, then yes, click
Exactly.
subscribe. Who knows? But
We
yeah.
may get there, but they may also just kick us off.
That's true. They're like, oh god, not this guy's good.
Not these guys.
All right. So, with that said, guys, let's go ahead and get back into the world of Yorn. Everyone, roll me a d20.
Oh, fuck.
Oh man.
Oh,
This will be an okay session.
Roll a
I guess.
d20.
Okay, is that just fine? Wait, you guys rolled the same.
So, who got the highest?
I got an 11. They got a 10. What did you get?
I think that's an automatic. You have to.
Oh,
to happen.
I was thinking that wasn't happen.
You got that out of the way,
I came
though.
into half the session last game.
Yeah,
You
you
did.
did.
Oh, you
I
did.
did.
Well, that's a shame, but keep going.
Okay, so
Okay.
what I remember
All right.
is
I like it so far.
you shouldn't. Don't encourage this. Check the old notes, see if I have anything written down. I don't. So what I recall is mostly a RP session of us being in the, what's the tavern called?
I forgot the name of that.
No one remembers the tavern?
Hold up. This is why I have notes, and I forgot them. I think I called it the something ghost or
Oh yeah.
Just have it.
We were in the Ghastly Ghost.
No, it wasn't that. It was
it was some very ghostly name.
It literally had ghost in the name.
Lavender something.
the Lavender Ghost.
Lavender ghost. I
Let's
think
just roll with that. We were the
You know what?
Lavender
You know what?
Ghost.
Tim, just say it. You're always the one who says it.
You're the one that keeps up with this stuff every time.
I'm just not going to ask anyone to roll and be like, Tim, what happened last time?
Okay. So we entered the town. We questioned a lady.
What about the witch's house?
Oh yeah. Okay, so we went into the witch's house to mine and Porthos's. We did not want to go in there, but they were like, "Come on, guys, let's do this." So we went inside the house.
Wasn't there for that.
As we went through the house, it was mostly wrecked. There was fire damage, but we ended up finding a secret hatch to this almost like a half-assed like sanctuary, like spell place, and we discovered that somebody may or may not have faked a ritual to make it seem like necromancy was being performed there. So once we discovered that and kind of did some investigating there, we left, went into the town, questioned a lady
If you guys want to chime in at all, you can chime in.
who directed us to several places in town, a general store, the inn, and we kind of...
Clouds.
Clouds?
Clouds, she told me.
Yeah, remember that.
Oh yeah,
I
totally forgot about that.
Yeah, like I literally. That's
You're
what
the one who's always like, the cloud.
Yeah, and I was the one that was like, "What do you mean about the clouds?"
Yeah, so...
Well,
she
me and
also-
him were threatening a innkeeper.
I don't appear like a cloud.
Very
Anyway.
German style.
So, we
Closing
found out
doors
that
and shit.
there's this cloud coverage above, that's only above this town, and everyone's like drained of all their energy and everyone's like super depressed. So my character's trying to find out why. So we went to the general store, which turns out the guy there had a lot of information. So we questioned him / interrogated him.
It was almost a German interrogation.
It was like it was getting this close to like the Gestapo were about to like just set the building on fire.
So the thing about it is he started closing windows, he started shutting the blinds, he locked the door.
Rust doesn't like liars.
That's fine. Anyway, we interrogated
What
him.
was the innkeeper's name?
His name was Fenrir. And
Yes.
he was an elf. One of 3 other known.
Currently 2.
Un-
Currently 2.
there was-
Because it was the burning witch Irdrid who was killed, the dwarf who lost his family, and then the shopkeeper Fenrir.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. He did talk about
2 remaining
the dwarf too.
non-humans in the town. So from there we got supplies after we interrogated him, and then we went to the inn where we found Kara.
Very, very quickly, we didn't necessarily interrogate him in the last bit. It made it look that way, but we eventually just asked for supplies, and we very gingerly pretty much walked away from that situation. But continue.
The shopkeeper is alive. He is fine.
He's okay. He's
No
not
one was talking
intimidated.
making it that last session.
He's probably a little bit intimidated.
Not gonna say that.
So we left to go and find the inn, to which we met Balder, the drunken dwarf, who we found out lost his wife recently
And child.
and child,
Oh, God, yeah, that's right.
and then
The
proceeded.
wife wasn't recently. That was like
Yeah.
We
the wife
changed-
was in the original incident that happened 50 years prior,
and then
and then the child
Yes,
was more
that's
recent.
that's right. That's right.
I think we changed it though. If I didn't say it, I think I did though, because I just realized 50 years.
It
It's
was
50 years.
Yeah.
It's quite long, and so meant for elves is not that long, but
Elves, dwarves, and
yeah.
me is
Yeah.
not long at all.
So
literally everyone else.
we're changing that to like 10 years.
well,
10 years is good.
okay, well 10 years ago, and
got it.
Fenrir has been there for 100 years apparently.
Yeah, that's still there.
Yeah.
So
The quirky elf in the town of Desolation.
yeah, the
Yes,
only
he was
guy that
Manchester.
seemed to be quite cheery.
Yeah,
I just
very
meant town of
true.
Desolation because he is literally the happiest person there.
So after meeting and admittedly kind of bullying Balder
Yeah.
a little bit,
Just a little bit.
we went into the inn, and I believe this is where the rest of us kind of stick out of the story, and I believe Trey kind of takes over.
So,
Not
Just wanna try to-
intentionally.
when I had stepped in, this town has been slightly scarce on other races coming in, especially magical races, since magic in itself is kind of abstained from them. I had tried to hide in my cloak for as much as I could, and when I had sat down and we had drank a little bit, I was getting a little tipsy and I was getting a little out of hand. So I helped our dear friend Porthos try and hook up with said bar owner or tavern owner. And now I gave Trey a little bit of something to kind of help out, just a bit of a pickup line. So dear Trey, continue from there. My dear Trey.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on right now.
I'm sure you don't.
Okay, so we were in the bar, what I remember.
Yes.
We were just talking with Kara, who was our bar waitress.
Yes.
Owner.
Well, owner.
Her and her brother were co-owners. And Porthos, being who he is, the traveling bachelor of sorts, was interested in Kara. And he accidentally sought out advice from Sindrid on how Sindrid would handle the situation. Excuse me, that was a burp. How Sindrid would handle the situation. And that ended with a beautiful one-liner, a rather long one-liner, but beautiful. That completely.
Brother's name is Eric, by the way.
Eric and Kara own the bar.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Eric with an A. With an A.
I'm gonna be honest. I was just looking through this list and was like, that one.
By the way, now I can't see the brother without seeing you now.
Oh, great.
You fucked my sister.
Do you have a sister?
No, I don't.
Hey!
If I did, I'd throw something at you.
But getting back to it,
You gave me the
Hey man, she's a nat 20
fantastic
though.
one-liner
fantastic one.
that was used. I don't remember what it was, but you can look at last session and find that out.
Oh, I remember.
We all remember.
It's hard to forget.
So I used the one-liner. I won her favor. And then the rest of the night is pretty much us just waiting for the bar to close and for Porthos to continue his adventure after hours.
Oh, honey.
Which is where I would take over because Russ has decided to go seek out the dwarf who had lost his wife and child, Boulder, and talk to him for a little bit.
Right.
So that's
Before that, that Porthos and the bar or the tavern owner pretty much got together. We have Nail and I. He went up to our room first to go to sleep. Eventually, after I knew that Porthos was going to be fine, I went and followed.
What did you do before that? On accident with the lighter.
So, before that, before he left to go seek out this dwarf, I tried to ignite it with magic. Now, this whole town frowns upon magic because it is ruled by the church for the most part. I, without thinking, igniting it as soon as he tries to light it himself, I immediately snap my fingers. It ignites and.
we are talking about tobacco pipe in case anyone was wondering.
Yes.
Because it just dawned on me we have not said a single word about that.
Oh, it's old backy. You know, nothing wrong with it.
Tobacco, the wacky tobacco.
Wacky tobacco.
No, just regular tobacco this time.
Yeah. But basically, as soon as I light it, I immediately realized what I did. I started hitting up and trying to hide it. However, it was unnoticed, as far as I know.
Totally forgot about that.
And that was, I think
That was last session.
That was
There
about
was a
it.
whole lot of RP lessons. That was pretty much it.
It was
Yeah.
good though. It was good.
We're actually curious what happened. Go watch the first episode.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
All right, so we guys ready?
Yep.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick off with Nell. Actually, since you guys are pretty much in the room, whatever you discuss in there, you can converse with each other.
I was at the desk. From what I remember, I was sitting at the desk.
No, you went up to the room with him.
Yeah, no.
you went
There was
to
a
the
desk
room?
in the room.
Right.
So I
Let's
started
take the chair.
meditating as soon as I got to the room,
Right.
and then he took a place at the desk because I guess he wanted to leave the beds open.
Right. So if you guys are gonna say anything to each other, or if you want to just be like, "Hey, we're just,"
I won't lie. By the time that I'm finally up there, I'm probably gonna look toward Nail and see that he's meditating. I was like,
well, if you guys are gonna say something, actually go downstairs and
Okay.
RP it because we're actually gonna do his story because we did your story
Yeah,
already.
I don't think you really have, unless he wants to say anything. Otherwise, I just, as soon as I got into the room, I just started meditating.
oh, then whatever I say is pretty much out the window.
Oh, okay. All right. Just giving you your option. All right.
I will go on ahead and pipe in hand and drink in the other. I'll go looking for the dwarf.
All right. So now you go outside into the streets of Greychester. You can see that it is night. There's not many people outside. If there is, it's mainly just a few town's guardsmen. When you came into town, you've only seen a few, and this is more of a makeshift militia than a full-blown garrison of troops. But you can see just some guarding the town, just patrolling around. As you go around, you're not quite sure where this blacksmith is. It just dawned on you as you reached the middle of this this little town square, which the end is in front of. And as you do, you could see one of the militiamen come by, maybe asking him where.
Yeah. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
The dwarf, Boulder, if I remember correctly. Have you seen him?
Oh, Boulder. Yes, he's down towards the west. He's towards the end of the road. Towards if you keep going that way. I be careful with him. He's a little grumpy.
I know his feelings very well. I know how to talk to him. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
And I just keep on walking.
All right, so you start heading towards Boulder's shopkeep. As you go by, you pass a few people or militiamen. You can maybe see like a few citizens going about doing whatever the heck they're doing out this late.
Right.
Some kind of looking at you with weary eyes, but more of like, why is he out so late?
Right.
You exchanging some back. And also because you are a halfling.
Halfling with an axe bigger than me.
Right.
Just walking through the town.
So as you go, you soon come towards what looks like a blacksmith. As you can see, an anvil outside of this shop. But it looks pretty. I wouldn't say completely worn down, but you can see it's not been taken care of. You can see some of the what would be like decorations outside, kind of just thrown aside. You can see that it's the curtains or whatever. It's just not been kept well. You can see that there's some spider webs starting to build up. It's just not been kept well.
Okay. I'll go up and rap on the door, see if he answers there, and if not, I'll kind of just walk around the house, the building, and try and find him.
So you go up to the door. You can see that it's a pretty sturdy door. You can actually see what looks like a door knocker that has like what looks like a hammer that you can pull back and knock on.
Okay. I'll do that and knock and see if he's home.
So you give a good knock. You hear some shuffling, but you don't get an answer back.
I try the door to see if it's open.
You try the door, and when you try, you hear it seems to be locked. You hear more shuffling.
I holler out. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I have some business for you. Find me in the morning. I'll be at the Lavender Ghost. Look for the halfling. And I just walk away.
Okay. You don't get a response, and so you walk away. Alright. You make your way back to nothing really happens. Again, militiamen, some
I
people.
get there and I just kind of sit on the porch and think for a while before I go up to sleep.
There is no porch or portico on the end. It's just straight up walls and a door.
Oh, well, in that case, I'd just go back into the tavern and find a table off to myself and sit there and contemplate for a while.
Alright. You said you went inside?
Yeah.
Okay.
If there wasn't a place for me to sit outside, I'd go inside and find an empty table.
You can see as soon as you get inside that the lights are all turned off. It's pretty dark. It looks like it's been shut down.
That's fine. I'd still find an empty table and just sit there and think for a little bit and finish my drink.
I would like for Porthos to be like on the ground, kind of sleep
On the
ground. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, since I left Kara's room,
Right.
and I didn't know where they all went for the night.
Yeah,
I just
Well,
went down to the.
how long would have this all processed? I think this would have taken about like an hour.
I would have been very. Oh yeah, it would have been an hour or so, and I'd been
Okay,
very-
you're not
I wouldn't have
done
been in
yet.
a rush.
okay.
You're also being careful, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been in a rush or anything like that.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd kind of be going from shadow to shadow, mining my own.
All right. So as you're mining yourself, about you want it? How long are you going to be doing this for?
After I come back, I'd say probably about another hour.
There you
Right. Towards the end of that hour, you can hear some footsteps coming from the back, where the kitchen is.
If I happen to see him and I see him fall out, I'll just go over, pick him up, and take him with me up to my room and throw him on
Do you
the
have
bed.
night? Do you have night vision? Okay. Yeah, you can see through the back what looks like gray colorization. You can see Porthos coming back, kind of like.
I do not have night vision, but I would assume I would figure out who it was.
All right. You can see what looks like a dark silhouette. Then at that point, there's not really much light in there. It's literally dark.
Yeah.
There's only light around you through your little pipe.
Yeah.
And you just see dark silhouette kind of wobbling, kind of, or whatever Porthos is doing. And you can hear a big, solid thud as this dark silhouette just drops.
I have night vision. Would I see him sitting down?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just me, mate. I'm just gonna take a squat right here, just for a few, and then just gonna pass out.
I'll grab him by the back of his collar and drag him up to the room and throw him
the
on the
stairs.
bed.
I'm not really sick. I'm just laying there, just out.
All right. This is going to be. You are so passed out, you are not feeling it, but you're going to wake up with some thuds on your face.
I grabbed him by the collar. I kept his head off the stairs.
But
Yeah, so my pelvis is just dragging in
Yeah,
the
the
wood.
feet are
Thanks.
still hitting
Yeah.
a thud,
Yeah,
thud,
100%.
thud, thud,
See,
thud.
the other
And
cat's
then-
gonna get the damage.
Yeah.
When I toss him on the bed, I'll
Still
do
getting some bruises.
my nightly ritual, bring out the statue.
Well, hold up one sec. Basically, after you thud, get him up the stairs, go ahead and make me a strength check.
Don't break me. One of my favorite toys.
8.
Don't you have like advantages or something?
I think I've earned
If
him.
he's raging.
Oh yeah, you
I
haven't
think
took your
I've
long
earned him.
rest
I think
yet.
I used both of them
Wait,
already.
you're halfling. You can
Um,
still roll it if you want.
No, that's only natural ones.
Would you like to
Yeah.
enrage?
Oh.
I don't see why I would rage to drag
God damn it, you're not getting the fuck up.
Why are you so drunk?
Well,
Yeah,
if you
it's only
can.
natural ones I can
Okay.
roll.
Well, as you begin to hold them up these stairs, you again, while you are a very strong figure, you are a halfling, and combined with this axe and everything else you're carrying, him carrying this large or medium-sized humanoid up a flight of stairs, you do lose your grip, and he does begin to
Oh no.
fall back down.
My face is just bouncing off the steps.
Make
Do I
me
see
a,
if he- I was about to say
Hold
if
up.
he like wakes up or not.
wait
if he
one
doesn't
second.
wake up,
Making
I'm
me a
just gonna
Constitution.
Constitution.
You will take 1 damage
It's a
by the way.
nat
Glutton.
14, 17.
Okay, you do manage to groggily wake up, but you do take 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
That's a rude awakening, sir. Oh, in a hangover?
Your head does like thud on the like sharp end of wooden.
Who does that? What?
You do because you tried going up the damn steps.
I'm gonna look down at the stairs, but I could have sworn I took a wee nap over there near the chairs.
You did. Then you woke up and decided to go to the fucking room.
Yeah, you did.
Are you two still awake?
How long has this been?
It's been about.
It's been like
It's been about
An
2
hour.
hours, and because
Okay, so I got
he
2 more
took an
hours
hour
of
to go
meditation.
talk to the guy. He didn't respond and come back, and then he took another hour.
Okay, so that means I'm probably still meditating, so I got 2 more hours of meditation.
Since he's been meditating, I've been trying to commune with a bit of like more of the elemental magics that I'm more attuned with for about roughly an hour and a half, and then after that, I go ahead and go to sleep.
So,
I hit
Okay.
the floor.
Gotcha. All right,
so
continue.
Yeah, I did. I hit the stairs.
So I was wet.
You were on the floor over there. You sat there for about 10 minutes or so. Got up, decided you wanted to go to the room, which was fine because that's the way I was heading.
Hey.
As we were going up the stairs, I don't know what happened, but you ended at the bottom of them.
Find that a little hard to believe, but did I scratch my necklace at all? Is my necklace alright? The amulet that was given as a gift for my work.
Yeah, it should be.
for your work.
My work.
Hey.
Yeah, you look down, you do check it out. It is beneath your shirt. Check it out. Yeah, it's good.
Alright. Excuse me then. And I'm gonna try to dexterously, not without falling down on my face again somehow.
Would
go
you
up
like to
the
assist him?
room.
No.
He's got it.
At this point, yeah, I fully believe he has, and I'm just gonna go to the room and do my nightly ritual.
You should be able to get because you're not drunk or anything, and you're kind of definitely woke up a little bit now.
You're tired.
You're tired, but you're definitely like throbbing. Your head is. All right.
Well, I don't even know whose room is whose. I guess I just walk up there and start opening random rooms, see if I
I
recognize
have a
anybody.
key, so I'll be like, just follow me, and I go to our actual room.
All right. Did you get 2 rooms or 1 room?
We got one.
Oh, we got one.
And I did not lock the door behind me.
Okay.
Well.
Well, you guys go to the room. You two look towards, since you're both still up, I imagine.
No,
No.
I'm
Okay,
asleep.
well, you're still
meditating.
up. You're asleep. You look towards the back. There's only 2 beds in this room, though, that you took. So you look in the back and you see the door open and you see your fellow companions.
That's fine. I'm accustomed to sleeping on the floor, and I want to face plant again on the floor.
So we got 2 sleeping
Okay.
on the floor. I'm meditating, and there's 2 beds. I guess your axe gets a bed for the night.
Yeah, after I go through the nightly ritual.
That's right.
Since
Everyone's
no
got
other-
these. I'm just sleeping, dude. Everybody's like, must pray to my patron or sacrifice this lamb. I'm
I
just
don't need
passing
sleep. I'm an
out.
elf.
He's an elf. He's just meditating. I just
meditate.
do something that he found solace in.
No,
in the very
I was
time.
gonna say I commune to the elemental nature, but that I mean, like after that, I'm out.
Well, then I take that back. As I'm walking in, I see 2 open beds and no one's in them. I just, groggily saunter over and just collapse in the bed.
Need you to roll to not step on Kendall. No.
Okay.
No, I'm.
All right, you go to the other bed.
Oh,
Like I said, I
ritual.
perform my ritual and then I go to sleep in the
What's your
corner.
ritual?
Basically, he takes out a statue of Pelor, sets it down, starts sharpening his great axe, and the whole time he's just sitting there thinking
That's
about
right.
the day. And
You did that in the last. Gotcha.
he does that every night.
Gotcha. All right. Afterwards, do you take the bed?
I go to the corner and just sleep in the corner.
Okay. All right. One bed's open.
Why does no one like beds?
Because I'm stoic as fuck. All right. So you all either sleep or meditate, whichever you're doing, and go ahead. All roll Constitution.
Saves or checks?
No, no save.
Oh, baby.
You will get a disadvantage though.
I don't need it, I promise.
10.
Oh shit, that was 18 before I fucked up. 21.
21. You are the first to wake. You can see everyone. You what?
I'm gonna need 4 hours of meditation. Are you sure he's the first one to wake up? I was meditating before.
Oh, okay. You're right. You're right. Okay, so you're the first to wake or done meditating, I suppose. It's
Now I have to spend the rest of the night figuring out something to do while everyone sleeps.
right. You can look around as you open your. Everyone is just passed out doing their thing. One bed completely open. You can see Nell.
Russ.
Russ. I always get your names confused for some reason. I don't know. You can see Russ looks probably the most comfortable, and if you left him to their own vices, he'd probably be the first to wake up. The others are just passed the fuck out. Especially your
Oh, yeah, I rolled a 3, so
That makes sense. You had a
He
rough
is
night.
snoring.
I do snore.
Yeah, you do.
I'm sorry, he has sleep apnea. I'm sorry.
It's about 7 in the morning at this time.
Okay. I'll go ahead and wake up Russ, because I'm sure he'll be the easiest one to get up, and then he can help me wake up the 2 knuckleheads who passed out on the floor.
Go ahead and repeat it.
I'm in bed, buddy.
Gonna just kind of
Yep.
hand on the shoulder, shake a little bit. Hey, Russ.
I immediately reach up and grab your hand.
I'm not even fighting at that
I
point.
just.
Oh,
Sorry.
You're good. Just figured you'd be the easiest to wake up.
Probably.
He feels like, wake me up next.
So, do we just go grab some breakfast, or we try to wake up the Flamehead and that one?
We should probably try and wake them up.
All right. I walk over to Sindrid and I just slap him across the face.
Are you actually slapping? Or just like a playful slap? Because if it's a slap, that's an
I'm gonna
unarmed
wake
strike.
you up. I'm gonna wake you up slap, but it's not like.
I'm not trying to permanently damage your face.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
break your face slap.
Okay, so it's more of like a playful slap. Unarmed strike slap.
About like that.
So a
Not
playful
like
slap.
not like good. Not like I reared back and
Right, okay, again.
But enough
a
to,
playful
like-
While
strike.
he does that, I'm gonna go
Okay.
over
Guys
and
are
I'm gonna
gods!
slap you in the face.
What?
You're white now.
I'm gonna start shaking
Okay.
you since I.
Oh!
We have
Fuck.
Budget.
we have a cave we have to go hunt down.
We have to hunt a cave?
Yeah.
Caves stay in the same place.
Yeah.
Alright.
We also have to go to the church.
Irish.
Ah.
He slapped the German out of
He slapped the German so hard he's now Irish.
I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, hey! What the fuck happened to me?
I'm gonna look over.
Starts
and-
going downstairs.
We need some healing for that burn, sir.
Oh, you have a struck of me.
I strike.
I got a way to wake you up that I think will
my
help.
god.
You say so today? Oh my god! This is Christmas of Maria. Nani? Oh my god!
Anyway.
Since it's a new day, I'm gonna cast aid and give. So I'm gonna basically target these 3 guys and give them the temporary.
Oh, that was fucking shit.
So that should hopefully wake him up in the process.
No, you whisper to Diggity a little bit, and you guys feel like it lifted a little bit. This little shimmer around you.
That's good.
And that is a 2nd level spell slot, by the way.
Wow.
And so as that happens,
Yeah, with that aid, you feel a lot better. DT
what
does.
time of the morning would it be? Is it like
7 in the morning.
7:30.
Alright, 3 suns out.
And
Well,
you get.
I am almost immediately going out the door and heading downstairs for breakfast.
Alright. You're awake, by the way. Are you gonna say anything?
Oh, I can't hold another round. Can I please just go to sleep?
No, you have to wake
No,
up.
You get
Kara,
5
just
hit
stop.
points
Just
added to your max pool. And last for 8 hours.
Kara, dear, please. Look. We just finished. I closed my eyes for like 5 minutes. Can I just get 5 more?
No.
No, let's go. Come on,
Okay,
we
chill
got
out.
to go. We've got money to make. Let's go.
Oh.
This is getting so old. Let's go. Come on.
Dude, have you ever? Look, my pelvis really hurts.
Well, you're going to get over it. So let's go.
You're just.
No.
I slap him in the back with the flat end of the great axe and be like, come on.
Jesus
I'm gonna
Christ.
say.
Whop, like a golf club.
Sounds to me
Like,
like
are you
treat your
s-
women better.
Okay. There's playful slapping, but this is a fucking great axe. Like, are you
I'm
just
not
like
saying it's not gonna hurt him. I'm just saying.
Why am I with a group of sadists?
Okay.
Alright, I'm up. And please don't beat me anymore.
Roll a d4.
That's not what you said to
D4?
Kara.
It's
Are
totally
you sure
different.
you want to slap him with that great axe?
It's the back of the great axe. It technically is a D12.
Well, it's not gonna roll a
swear to God.
d12.
You want me to roll a D12?
No, it's a d4 because you're playfully doing it, but it's a fucking great axe.
Oh, wow. So 3 though.
Yeah,
Why would you? Oh my
you're
god!
gonna take 3 bludgeoning damage.
I feel like my fucking shoulder blades just touched.
Don't forget to add the 5.
I know.
You get 2.
So you get to.
Oh, I heal 5.
Yeah,
So,
he did 8.
no, I gave you an additional 5 HP for 8
Okay.
hours.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Well, I just took
so
you
now
down.
you have 2 left out of the additional 5.
You are definitely awake now.
Why are you so aggressive?
We have things we need to do. We don't have a lot of
You
time.
just
I'm out
walk
the
around
door.
with a great axe. Who does that?
Me and my
I'm just
family.
walking like.
Me and my family, and I just walk out the door.
There's so much wrong with you and your people. Just fuck.
What's
It
it like?
is literally only my family. Everyone else like looks at us like we're.
And he arches his back and he's walking like, oh god, damn that. It's like a
So-
fucking cut itch.
As I'm coming downstairs, are there a lot of patrons that are already down there?
No, there's like maybe like 2 or 3, but these you can assume are regulars.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead as I'm making my way straight to wherever Kara is or her brother, that is where I'm going to be and ask for eggs and bacon. That's it, just eggs and bacon.
No carbs. I'm trying to.
Yeah, you're probably gonna go. You'll probably be at the counter.
all right.
All right, so you guys all head downstairs. You can see that Sindrid's a little bit ahead. You're kind of bitching, and
Absolutely. Yeah, I just got smacked with a fucking mallet.
he's retorting. You're kind of
Watch
just
a
laughing.
wake-up call.
You can see Sindrid's already at the counter talking or waiting on
Food.
Kara.
Okay. So is she out there or?
Yeah, she's out there helping some other patrons right now. She's already said good morning to you.
Oh, good.
Okay, well then I'll go out of my
Good
way to walk like right
Oh.
next to her as I'm going to my table. I'm gonna
Okay.
smack her ass like
Okay.
morning love, and then go onto my table.
Hey.
So as you go by, she hasn't noticed you. You give a good right on that booty,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh!" gives a little yelp, and she turns around like,
Good morning,
Shoot her a
Frau.
wink as I go to our table.
yeah.
Good morning, Frau Kara.
Yeah,
How's
she's
your-
totally not paying attention.
Okay, so that's all right. That's good. I'm glad it's happy for
Anyway, so you're all at the
Thanks.
table.
you. Thank you.
You wait about maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and Kara then gets in front of you and says, "So, how was everyone's?" Looks at Trey. Night or
So
Didn't get much sleep actually. It's a little restless.
oh, I
You give us
A
sleep.
bit
my
tired.
ass.
So the sexual tension is literally in the air. I would like bacon and eggs, if that was okay.
Need a little extra fat on his bacon.
Again, I am missing my menu. Of course. Yes. I can give you porridge.
Solid go-to.
Some bread.
Breakfast bake from Tom Thumb.
Yeah, I can give you some goat milk. We have some goat milk.
You can
Goat
have cereal
milk
with
and the porridge.
Okay, sounds good. What about everyone else?
Alright then.
I could do some porridge.
The same.
Porridge with a side of you. No, I'm just playing. Some
Oh,
ale.
behave.
Some ale.
I'm kind
sure.
of cutting this. I'm cutting this evenly, by the way.
I'm fine with that.
All right.
So that's basically going to be, well, with a discount.
Well,
Well, with a discount.
That dick discount, eh?
The dick count?
Yeah, the dick count.
discount.
Eh?
Disgusting.
It will be 2 silver.
Total? Hey, that's right. I'm gonna hype you up until you are my dick man. Not my hype man, but my dick man.
I'm using you for discounts.
I will be your
You
dick
mean
count
dick
man.
count?
Hey, that's fine with me.
Got you covered.
All right. I'm pretty much just as soon as the plate arrives, whenever it does, I'm destroying it, and then once it's done, I immediately just wait by the door.
Okay, well, she says,
I'm ready.
alright. So she says, alright, I'll be out.
Every morning person.
And she gives you a final wink. And she goes off to the back
Finally, real quick,
to,
since
you can assume, talk to
I
Eric
know.
for the food.
I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Alright. So now you guys are left alone to your own devices. You're at the counter, currently waiting on your food. Do you want to say anything to each other?
Listen. You lot have no idea the night I experienced.
I can imagine.
I helped you get the night that you
You
experienced.
did, and I love you, and I love you for it. And I'm gonna reach out and grab his head and kiss him on the forehead. But
And
you have
that
no,
was unnecessary.
no idea what you've done to me,
Okay.
right? We got discounts.
Yeah. I saw that.
I'm a deal seeker myself. That goes a long way.
I bet she took it a long way.
I'm very, very tired. You good, buddy? He's not good. He's very tired as well.
That's great. Anyway, what is our schedule today? What are we doing?
Well, I'm hoping I could, I'll hold down the fort for you lot. Keep this place safe and taken care of.
Oh, I bet. So if she's under the counter and you're the one taking the orders,
Right.
then I know what's happening.
Of course.
Nell and Sindrid, you two do notice that there's like a little lace around his neck. There's something tucked into his shirt.
But my friend, seems that you have acquired something.
Oh, this. Then I'll pull it out. It's a bit of an award for last night.
Yeah,
know.
you can see when he pulls it out. It's a pretty, actually, very nice medallion. It seems to have like a little blue gem in the center, like a little circle or a marble, and it's surrounded by kind of a bronze plate that's surrounding it. You can see.
Thing on the
Yeah, on your DM screen.
No.
Yeah, you can kind of. Well, they're all the same.
Yeah.
Just different colors. It's kind of like that, actually. Yeah, it's perfect. And you can see like little indents on the ring around it.
So I'm going to.
An engagement gift.
No. That's not what I said.
She immediately just like.
By the
I
way,
put
you
my
may
hand.
wanna check
I
one
put
out.
my hand on Porthos'
soldier.
excuse me, shoulder.
I don't
I put
know
my
if that's a
hand
soldier.
on that, and I want to see if I can detect magic.
Yeah, sure. Hold up. Read your text.
No, so I'm gonna kind of like snatch away a little bit. What's all this about?
I just want to see if there's anything extraordinary.
There is my performance. This is a reward.
Oh, so that's like your man pill.
Sure, so you know how gigolos, they carry around their European man bags. This is my European man bag. Listen, they're
Oh, the foreign country.
they're sword European man bags.
So from last, I understand now. So from last night, it wasn't enough. She gave you a little something to make it.
No, this is not fucking Viagra.
That's immediately what
What's
I'm thinking.
Viagra?
I'm sorry, that's what I'm thinking.
I can basically tell you this. It basically, when she gave it to you, it's basically not just for the performance last night, but because you talked to her in such a sweet way and stuff. You kind of did a marriage, kind of a little marriage proposal,
Huh?
in a way to not like you were gonna follow through with
She's a
it.
strong, independent businesswoman.
Yeah, but it's basically like, well, I want you to be safe. Here's a keepsake to
So
keep you safe.
I'm gonna lean in and be like, all right, come here. I don't know how to do this. So I'm pretty sure she's a little smitten with me. So
Yeah, no shit.
she's very protective of this. She gave it to me. I think she's like swearing herself to me or some shit. What I'm trying to tell you lot is that if we want these discounts to continue how they are, 2 silver, a lot of breakfast, all of us fully fed, ready to go. I've got to keep this on. I'll keep it tucked away. No one's gonna rob us. But like this.
That's a little fucked up.
No, listen. I'm a bachelor, all right.
You treat people right, especially if they treat you right. Either you give it back to her because you both had and tell her that what you really feel, or you go through with her feelings.
Look,
We're on the same page a little bit. So
I don't think we are.
I told her she's pretty. I gave her the poem. She knows it.
just hear me out. Look, all I'm saying is that I gave you that in well knowing that there's more going to be going on, which more had happened, but now that I see that she's going to put more of a commitment, all I am saying is that you shouldn't just squander that or abuse that for something. Because that also is like that's
This, why can this not be a win-win? She gets the whole lovey-dovey bit. We get discounts. We continue.
Because obviously she wants more than the lovey-dovey bit.
And she may, but I mean, I'm an adventurer. We're adventurers. What we're doing.
You're
Then why
also
do you have a kid waiting back in the last town that you're giving gold to?
Listen.
But you're
Ricky
also
is
a
different.
man.
No.
You are a man.
My friend. You've already tied
Giving
yourself
him the
down.
talk.
You've already tied yourself down with a child. Treat the
He
person.
might need a caretaker. Jesus.
So not
There you
only are you
go.
adopting a wife, you are also getting a son.
Already has a son.
Ricky's
Oh,
all, look,
there you are.
well, he's not also. He's just a kid I'm taking care of. Listen, I like him. He's a good lad. He needs some help, right? Maybe she has no children. Her only commitment is a brother in this tavern. What if Ricky comes here? Look, this is all just way. I'm all right. I'm going to the door. I'm gonna stand up and like slide the chair out and just walk to the door.
Well, by the time you get up, she starts coming back with some food. Says, "Here you are, darlings."
No, thanks, love. I'm gonna fucking scoop it and start like. I'm gonna take like 4 huge bites and then go to the door.
Oh, okay, she's like, "Okay, all right."
I have eaten my fill. I am going to the door, and I thank the Frau for the lovely spread.
Of course.
And then I
imagine you'd give the 2 silvers beforehand. Yeah.
That
No,
too,
it's already done. It's already done. And then I'm walking out. I'm trying to head to the stables and find our wagon.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, okay. All right. So
Do you
wagon.
really need a wagon?
he's already
Yeah,
at the
that
door. Are you guys just munching
This one?
quickly?
Kinda.
When did we get a wagon?
I also asked.
Wow. We travel with the horses and we had a wagon. We never used it.
Why
No,
were you saying-
Sindri. By the way, I have proficiency in animal handling and shit, so I can definitely be the driver.
You guys think of a horse down here, by the way.
Yeah.
No, okay, so no wagon.
I
Just
remember the
horses.
horses.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you guys literally walked.
Oh, we
Yeah.
walked.
Remember?
Oh,
The only
okay.
thing that was
Oh,
horse-
I tried finding
Yeah.
something, but I wasn't able to find it.
That's right.
The only
okay.
horse that you
That's
found
why I
was
was
literally
so
dead.
confused.
The
Yeah.
butchered one.
Yeah, the butchered one that we think we called it.
Oh, We found a wagon.
Yeah, there might be a
Okay.
stables. Who knows? You have to ask someone, but.
Yeah, that's true.
I was about to say. I
Okay,
thought
so-
So as I walk out, I
Well, hold up. You went up. You took 4 bites. You went to the door.
out the door.
Out the door. Okay. He just did that. What are you doing?
He's scarfing
I-
his down.
I've already scarfed mine down before we had our conversation, and I was already
Well,
heading.
she
Well,
was
like,
bringing the food.
Yes, at
Yeah.
the end of that conversation.
Oh, then
So
yes,
you guys basically were racing scarfing at this point.
yeah, and I've walked that same direction. pretty much
Okay,
out the
so
door.
you both are going out the door. What about you two? Are you two taking your time?
I kind of was. I was gonna ask him,
Okay.
Neil, what do you think is a smart bet? Should we go investigate the cave where the woman came from and then admitted all of her guilt in front of everyone, or do we go to the church first and try and use what little influence we have to gain some more information?
I mean, both are really good routes. I feel like the church is a good place to start. But, I mean, what are these other 2 troublemakers going to do while we're going to the church if we go that way? We
Agreed.
can't take Sindred in there.
That's also true, but at the same time, I want more information before we go to the church. The more we know about this area, when we go and talk to them, the much better it will be for us. Something tells me they're hiding.
I agree. I don't like it.
Either.
Well, perhaps the cave it is.
If it is, finish our meal and then we'll go out and join those 2.
All right. So, while they're eating, you two go outside. What are you two doing? You're kind of like have like invisible electricity.
Well, not really.
Well, I'm just-
yeah.
If
I'm
he's
talking-
mad at anyone, he's mad at me.
Well, he's very
It
defensive.
has now become a topic that he doesn't want to talk about with the whole commitment.
And at the same time, I'm going up to a certain point with the commitment thing about being a man and so on. And then,
All right, Dad.
after a certain point, I'm
Never
like,
had one of
okay.
those.
After a certain point, I'm like, okay, it's whatever. And at that point, I think we were heading to the edge of town. What would you?
I was going to try and secure us some horses.
All right, so we're gonna have to. Well, first things first. We don't know anything of the town, so we're probably gonna have to ask somebody. Because I have no
Walking
idea.
around looking. And
We're gonna have
All
to
right.
talk
Yeah.
to
As soon as you go
people.
outside, yeah, you can see some people. Just wondering.
Excuse me, Frau, if I can see a woman.
Yeah. There's a woman. He says, "Oh, yes."
Yeah. My hood is still up, by the way. I was just wondering where you would have these stables.
The only people I can think of that would have some is maybe the garrison.
Garrison.
Yes. There is a local militia, obviously.
Okay. I'm assuming is it guarded by the crown guard or?
No, it's a local militia.
Oh, just local. Okay, just making sure. Making sure. All right. And is it to the north or the west?
The entrance of the town towards the south. It's generally the area that you guys came from.
I
The fucking
thank you,
holler.
Frau.
Oh, damn it. Oh,
Have a
yeah.
pleasant day.
Take your carpet.
She kind of disgruntledly, like half-ass it,
Eating a cheetah.
and then just goes about.
Why?
Because it looked hungry.
What happened?
You do realize I have to vacuum that later.
I know.
You can do it before he gets a boost on.
Sorry. I can't because of the shitty vacuum, so you have to go get the good vacuum.
What now?
So we know where we're going, though, right?
Yep.
Okay, so
I-
after you get
Y'all don't know yet. Me
After
and
the
him
conversation, I
made a plan.
tell him the
well,
south.
he was with you.
Yeah. Oh well, he overheard. Okay.
Right.
Then yeah, south of the town. But as soon as they come out,
By the time you guys get done, you can look back. You see your 2 followers come out.
oh, wunderbar. So as far as we have found, there is a bit of a stable to the south, pretty much the entrance of the village or the town. However, it's not really Crown's Guard that is guarding it. It's more of a local militia.
Well, do we have anything showing that we're on an official mission?
Definitely not myself.
As we're talking, I sneak away.
Okay.
Are you actively
Roll me
sneaking?
Oh yeah.
Roll me a stealth real quick. I got your passive perception for here.
I need this to be high. Do you understand?
Yeah,
Roll
you
the
tell
one.
the you tell the
God,
dice
I
that
can't
as
wait.
much as you want.
14.
I'm pretty sure I saw that.
Sindred and Nell, you two notice that.
Where do you think you're going?
Excuse me, there you going?
What?
There you going.
What are you talking about?
Aren't
Try
you
to
the one
walk
with
away.
the insignia of the Lord Marshal that we really need?
I'm not
You're the one with the inventory keep.
God damn it.
You would have that because you would have taken it from Lars's dead body.
Oh my god.
Sure. And I'm gonna pull out
Doesn't write it down.
his dagger and be like, "You see what I'm working with here? I need something a little longer, a little pokier, you know."
Well,
So if you're
you
looking
can just
for,
tell us.
you can just tell us. It's
You were
rude.
deep in conversation.
Interrupt us? I don't know.
It's awful rude.
I want to point out,
So is sneaking away.
Hold on.
we're in an unknown village.
True. Let me go with him. Let me just go with him. And then
Well, they hate humans. I'm here. Or well, they hate non-humans. I'm good here.
We
I'm
know
safe.
you're good here. The downside is, we're here on a mission. We're here to take care of something, and from what y'all told me about
yeah.
other things happening here,
They don't
It's best not
necessarily
to go
hate
out by
non-humans,
themselves.
BT dubs. It's more
Distrust.
more mad. Like dwarves, they're okay with because they're not really known for magic. Elves are a little bit different. Obviously, Genasi fucking.
I don't
I
know.
mean,
Elemental primal magic. It's a bit interesting.
And like gnomes, for example, they're okay with halflings and gnomes or whatever.
But look, let me go with him. I'll keep an eye on him. I'll keep my hood up. Should be fine for Isaiah.
I don't need a babysitter. Let's keep on walking.
Baby. Baby. You sound like Austin
Austin
Powers.
Powers.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in that case, me and Neil will go and try
I
and
just
grab
got
some
my
horses.
mojo on, baby.
I'm just my mojo on, baby. Okay, we're done.
Yeah, me and Neil will go and try and procure some horses, and then come back to grab them and move on to the cave.
We meet back here.
I haven't heard this. I'm already walking off.
I
Okay,
have
nice.
heard this, and I'm
30
going up
minutes.
to him.
All right, go ahead, both roll me a d20. We'll see who goes first. Since we're splitting the party.
Oh.
Oh,
I got an 8.
got a
Same.
3.
Hey, 8.
What? So 3 8s and a 3.
So what's the highest?
8.
Eight.
Always have 8s.
So I guess.
But me and him are on the same side with our.
Oh, so both of you have 8s?
yeah.
Oh, so
8,
technically
8,
together.
8.
Oh, okay, then you need
3.
All right, Tim roll, you roll.
Hadouken. 8.
3.
All right.
Oh no, it's a 6. Either way.
All right, so are you guys going to the blacksmith?
Yeah.
All right, you guys don't know. Well,
See, you
So
make
you
it
start-
nice forever,
you
but
and
that's
Sindred are going towards the blacksmith, but you soon come to realize you have no idea where the
okay,
blacksmith is.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'll do it.
around. I'm gonna find
Who does know where the blacksmith is?
You see a guy
the
come
closest burly man I can find.
Okay. Well, you do see a militia, makeshift guard,
We asked,
kind of
you
patrolling
asked
around.
that question
Oh,
earlier
okay.
when we were talking to the lady at the beginning.
What do you need?
So, I see you have long pointy things. I have a small pointy thing. Where can I purchase more pointy things?
Well, I would advise maybe Finrir's shop, the elf.
Oh, the elf.
He might have some. I would advise Boulder, but he's kind of closed for a while now.
What's that mean?
Well, ever since he lost his child to, I presume since you're in this town, you've heard of the Burning Witch.
I've heard, little snippets here and there.
Right. His child was one of the first to disappear, and ever since he started to, having nightmares and stuff, it's just he was not able to concentrate on his work, and now kind of just wastes his time drinking to try to not feel anymore.
Right. Been there. So, Boulder and Finley are the only. Where do you get your weapons from?
Oh well,
I'm going to the restroom. Excuse me.
I'm part of the militia, so garrison.
Right, so you're going to the cave today as well, then?
No.
Oh, so you're not doing anything relevant with your time? He's-
Fuck! And the one guy who's with them is gone right now. Fuck!
Okay. Who are you? I have never seen you here. And he kind of looks at you suspicious. What are you? What's your purpose here?
I'm just, trying to solve the case that you couldn't. The burning witch, the scapegoat, the innocent woman who died. What was it, 10 years ago? For all
You
this.
see, me and you were at the stables, like, haggling.
He kind of appears his eye. What's your name?
Cayman.
Hammond, is it?
Cool, you have
Roll me a deception real quick.
insignia.
Roll me deception.
Inside. Oh. 16.
16.
That could be the nat 20 though.
He kind of steps up, puts his face closer to yours. He seems to be he's not like a crazy big guy, but you can see he's seen his fair share. Compared to the other militiaman that you've seen, he seems more of a tougher one.
Okay.
He's about like maybe about 6'1". He's got he's kind of roughened up. He kind of puts his face towards yours and says, "I don't think that is your name."
How would you even know?
Insight.
You're gonna kiss me, mate. You're awful close.
He kind of leans back and says, "I got my eye on you."
Alright, that's cute of you. And I'm gonna just, I guess, walk off and try to go to Fenrir's shop now.
Again, has the insignia of the Lord Marshal who rules over this area.
You don't know.
Doesn't know
You
that.
do.
No, I have it on my
from
person now.
Yeah, you took it from my dead
It could
body.
be in my backpack or something. I'm not gonna wear it on my chest branded for everybody to see.
Lars would
I'm not Lars. I'm Lars' roguey friend. So I guess go try to.
I really wish
Sindri
we all
comes
shared
up and
that
is like,
conversation.
Okay, Wills. I apologize for my friends here.
He's so
You
really
definitely didn't go German with that.
I apologize for my friends here. We are looking for these
like
shops. These we just need to find more pointy things for him. I apologize for his accents.
Indian.
I want to use that
Straight
voice for our
Indian.
next character. I like
Straight
the extra
Indian.
uses of S's.
And he's like, I think we're done here. And he goes and turns around and says, okay, what is your problem?
Did you not hear the same story I heard about?
I did, but you literally have an object that will secure us things that we need. And now you're like, hippy-deep, smart ass comments.
Do you want to
That's
carry
on
it?
camera.
What?
Do you want to carry it?
Yes. Actually, yes. I'll make quite more use of it
Yeah,
than
I'm
you.
gonna reach into his bag. Not in front of them. We're not doing this in front of them. We're walking and talking, I guess, arguing or
Yeah.
at this
Well,
point.
here comes Kendall, so you can catch
Yeah.
him up.
And then I'll give him the insignia.
Thanks you.
What
When you
would
come
happen?
back, knock, and then we'll.
You now
I
have
know what it looks like, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, he's
Because I can
pissed
just
off
minor
the
illusion the
militia.
exact same thing now.
And you're with him.
He just what?
He pissed off the town militia.
What did you do?
Well,
Nothing. We're just talking. I'm looking for a blacksmith.
I
And you know
RP.
he doesn't like military, and he's not satisfied with the way they ended the witch hunt. So yeah, he's gonna be a little fucking tense towards the guard and the church and anybody who was involved in that case.
So what did you do?
I just talk a little bit of shit. No fights, no insults.
By the way, you know.
A little bit of aggressive flirting, I think.
Why do I have the insignia of Lord?
I was RPing your character, and your character was basically like, what is your problem, dude? You literally have an insignia that will get us the things we need, and you're not using it. You're starting shit. And he's talking, so he was like, well, do you want it? And your character was like, yes. Actually, you know what? I'll clearly use it way better than you.
So you have the insignia now from the Lord
Is it-
Marshal or something.
Is it any use at this point? Are you incarcerated?
No.
Not yet.
Oh, so I could have used that insignia to be able to get them to tell me where the blacksmith was and shit like that.
More like you'll need this if you You'll see if you used it.
You'll probably need their support that would help you.
I just feel like you, being a non-human, probably shouldn't be the one talking to anybody.
Well, you've kind of already screwed the pooch on that now,
I
haven't
can be whoever I want to be.
Baby.
We can't.
Okay. So what is currently happening to him?
No,
But
you
and I
guys are
walking
going towards the.
Fenrir, you said?
Yeah, you're going to the Fenrir shop again.
We're going to Fenrir shop to look for weapons.
Listen, look, are you going to use this or not?
I mean, out of character, now that I know what it is and what I can do with it, I would use it. I didn't.
As character, no.
I mean, I just. You know
It's
where
a
I
keepsake
stand.
of my dead friend.
Look,
Here, have it.
this is obviously not going to work for me. You keep it, but if you know that you can have the upper hand with it, use it.
Look, I'll try really hard to be polite from now on, okay?
Okay.
Sorry. Lot of tension up here.
So I will help you in whatever you do. I'm just saying.
You walked away at the worst time possible, is what happened.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
Yeah, that literally happened. Like, he started talking when you walked away, and me and him just stared at each other.
Like, Kendall, what?
Oh, I have to go to the bathroom, man. You know, I want for so long.
Okay, so you have the medallion.
Yeah.
All
Give
right.
it back.
So
Sure.
as soon as you give it back, you get close because you know where the general store is. You go back and again you see the flamboyant shop. It seems to be different.
Alright. Was I there last time?
Yes.
You guys? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were just silent.
All right, are you knocking on the door?
I am.
You
You
give a
should walk in
good.
at the shop, right?
Yeah, maybe if you can.
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to open the door.
I'm gonna try and knock, and he'll probably just open it.
All right, so as you go to knock, the door already opens before you can.
Hey, Fenrir, we're back.
All right, so you
Oh,
both walk
man.
inside, and you don't see him, but you hear in the back. Oh yes, just 1 second, please. And you
Should have browsed a bit. You know, nothing much.
No, take your time. Please don't steal anything, though. And
He's not there, right?
he is there.
I'm kidding. No, he's not in the room with
No,
us.
he's not in the
I'm
room.
not gonna stay. I'm kidding.
Standing by the door.
You hear some
Don't
shuffling
worry.
and rumbling in the back, and soon he comes out the front. And he says, "Oh, it's you! Hi, welcome."
Hello from there. How is you doing?
Oh, good. I slept great. It was kind of weird last night or yesterday, but hey, you know what? Things happen.
What do you mean? What happened?
You interrogated me.
Oh, right. Sorry, I wasn't
sorry.
really mentally here for that.
Right.
It was a long day. Lots of travel.
Anyway,
Right. So, looking for weapons, swords, the like, you know.
Oh, let me look.
Typically the finesse type.
Okay, let me look around. Let me see if I can find something. So he is looking back and says, "Do you have anything particular that you're looking for?"
I would like, you know, dex-based weapons, finesse, you know,
I don't know what you mean by
rapiers,
dex. However, if you're looking for more of
lightweight.
more finesse types weapons, like you just said earlier, I
Right,
might
right.
have something. Boulder would most likely be better, but I wouldn't go to him. He's kind of not right in the head right now.
Has anyone spoken to him about his suffering at the moment?
Oh yeah, yes. I've tried to spoke to him as a fellow non-human in a town full of humans, but he's quite distant right now. And if you don't see him at the bar, you usually either see him in the streets, going back to his home, drinking.
Right. So it's his home where the blacksmithery is. Then.
Yes, it's towards the west of the town, and he gives you directions to go to it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
so we're there. But looking around.
While we're here, you know, what do you have? For
Well,
herbs?
I do have one short sword, but that is it, unfortunately. I do have some daggers, though.
No, I've got plenty of daggers. Are you only looking for currency, or are you open to trade? I've got 5 daggers I could part with in exchange for this short sword of yours.
I have plenty of daggers. I don't need more daggers.
He too has the same problem you have. Do you have a short sword? Trade for a short sword.
No. So I'll tell you what. How much do you want for this short sword?
Oh god, it's gonna turn to Dungeons and Haggling again.
I'm only gonna haggle once. If I don't succeed, I'm not gonna try it again.
Alright.
I hate
That's
that.
your bucket.
Looking up short sword.
Take out the chicken, please.
Price.
You're not gonna keep, are you?
No, I was gonna get chicken, but there's not much.
It's chicken.
Oh wow. Well, it is going to be 8 gold pieces.
8 gold. That's quite stiff.
Well, the average is 10, so.
Right. Hold on.
Just BT dubs out of DM or out of Fenrir character, out of
OCC.
Fenrir's character. Weapons are expensive. A short sword on average is 10 gold pieces. So being 8 gold pieces is pretty cheap. That's because you're in a lower town than a city. Like a crossbow is like 50 gold.
Yeah, it is.
And so from what I can remember, is he
Don't even want to talk about it.
does he do anything about? Is he comfortable with magic at all, or is he?
Yes, you actually seen him use spells. Like he used Mage Hand earlier. You do notice that it was like kind of furry, like a wolf's kind of thing. Other than that, he's told you that he knows like some basic concepts of magic because his race is obviously magically gifted. But other than that,
Okay.
He knows cantrips.
So, this is kind of metagaming, but I don't want to fuck myself at the same time. He's an elf, so he has advantage of charms. Is friend a charm?
Yes.
It would be a charm. It doesn't. There's no counter action to it. It just happens though. So,
well,
So-
he's immune to charm, so it's not going to work. I mean, he'll know that you tried to charm him. It's just not going to work.
okay.
Meets magical sleep and advantages on saves versus charm.
Oh well,
It's
advantage
definitely not
is
immune
fine.
to charm, but I well that just won't do it. So 8 gold. You said. How do you feel about 6 and taking these daggers off mines?
I'm willing to go with 6 gold. However, you're going to give me something else than daggers.
Man who doesn't want daggers. Suppose I could give you. Have we looted anything from anybody we've killed?
We haven't really killed that many people.
Yeah, the first session we killed like 6 people.
Yeah, but we had to run.
Oh, we didn't loot, we ran. That's right. Shiza.
That's my foot.
Is it your foot?
No.
That's my foot. My
This
word.
is
Still short bows here.
My word. My
I've got some arrows. You might find might fit your fancy.
That's
I'm a little low on
Or you're there
arrows.
to
How many
say it
arrows do you
for
have?
us If you want.
I'll be willing to offer you
You're
10.
actually saying in character. That's my word.
Throw in the daggers with those arrows, and I'll part. With 6 gold.
6 gold. 6 gold, 10 arrows, and 5 daggers.
I'll take 4 daggers.
That'll work. And I'll start rolling through my pack and start deleting this from my inventory. Got 1 dagger now.
He goes through towards the bottom of the cabinet. He you can see him ruffling. He pulls up what looks like a little fabric on top of like a sheath and some hilts, and he puts it down, removes the cloth, and you can see that it is a short sword, but you can see what looks like the sheath is just not like a normal sheath. You can see that it has kind of like a lining on it. It's a bronze, but it seems a little bit more detailed than your average short sword.
Oh. You didn't tell me this was a fancy short sword.
Well, Bolger is a great blacksmith. He, being dwarven, they're more proficient at blacksmithing kind. He's actually even been known to make magical weapons.
Really?
Yes.
So, in your opinion, would it be a good idea to pay him a visit? I know he's grieving.
Not
It's
a
been
good
a while.
No. Unless you have some way of good news of, hey, your child is alive, here you go. No.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Right.
To the cave, gentlemen.
Right. All right. Well, thank you for your business. I appreciate it.
Thank
You
you
need
for
anything, Syndrome?
Did you
While
take
we're here.
gold? 6 gold out?
gold. Okay.
Get back from the church. Well, I will gladly steal from the church. Take me there.
I think we're gonna go to the cave first.
No promise that I'll hold my tongue and not piss off Father Trish, but
Well, we probably should have been there, but we're not here for you to say that, so.
You know, we're haggling over horses.
horses
That
and
probably
haggling.
don't exist.
Should be a new campaign, H&H, horses and haggling.
Alright.
I'm here to haggle and just walk into the general store on the horse.
No, then I.
On this
come in here
episode, the
because,
horses and haggling.
we already had enough. So,
Are you gonna say? Do you want anything from him?
No. Maybe some olives at tea.
Or perhaps potions, I didn't even think about that.
I do have some potions.
We haven't
Do
used
you
any of
happen to
them.
have any potions?
I do have some potions.
Yeah, I did.
What do they typically run here? Nothing absurd like 25 gold, right?
Let me find that out for you real quick. I sent you a text, BT Dubs.
I think 50 gold is how much it typically costs, honestly.
I mean, it's going to be lower here than it would normally
You don't
because
know.
it's not
Maybe you do, but
the
not
current.
here.
You know, the currency here is a. Not
I'm
currency.
being your messenger right now. You're sending a message to him.
I don't have
What was it
message.
called?
You're the rock that you're
Potion
throwing. I'm the
of-
rock you're throwing at him for to pay attention to
But
you.
I have a message.
Yeah, you do.
Oh,
It's great.
yeah. That is 50 gold pieces for a. Yikes. Yeah.
It's 50 gold
You
for
know
just
about
like
the
a
potions,
standard.
you
Yeah.
tell me.
You know what?
Like a supreme, the best
Didn't we
apparently
not buy
is
potions from him when we went
200,000.
I said
Yeah.
one.
You know, I think I
You
read
guys
that.
could have chimed in at
It was gonna. He was gonna
I
sell it
said
for 40.
one.
Right.
So Sindra, we have an offer here. 40 gold for a small healing potion. We do know those are invaluable to our cause.
Look, all I'm saying is that we have 29 gold, 8
Alright,
silver,
so we can't
and
even afford it.
13 copper.
Not enough money.
You want another dagger?
No.
Right.
Believe it or not, I have enough daggers.
You know, I think you do. Well, again, thank you for your business. I hope you have a fantastic day.
Of course.
We out of here.
I don't need anything. so-
Right, and I'm gonna just turn around on my heels and just give him a little decent.
Thank you for your time.
Of course.
No one-liners this time.
So as we're walking out of the shop, I'm gonna say to Citric.
Okay, I think you were about to say
How did I
that.
forget your name all of a sudden?
Sin.
I was gonna call you Citric from freaking Last Kingdom.
Not
Citrus.
citron.
So
Sup, citrus.
what are the other two doing here? They're talking to
Like an orange.
the church
They're probably going to the cave first.
without us.
If we're not
Well, no,
careful-
you guys were basically
We-
going to meet up.
You
By the
should've
time you
done
meet
it.
up at the front of the inn,
Right, but he was asking.
You were going to go to
what the mission was for you guys. What you had.
so you probably
We
going to
didn't
meet up
tell you
first.
what we were
Then.
doing, but we said we were meeting here before we go to the gym.
No.
Or
You
the
said.
gym.
Well, you said what was the most. What was the priority about which one? Well, at least you said we should go to the cave first.
Yes.
That's what I heard. I do understand that we heard meet up at X, but he was asking.
Well, we can
where are we going?
Yeah, but you guys are planning to meet up back on the inn after you're
Yeah,
done, so,
so
you
we're
can
going to the
decide
inn now.
once
So-
you get there.
Can,
You need short little arms.
We're all conveniently just the right height to not be able to reach things.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and switch to your perspectives now, because you guys are gonna meet up in front of the
Yeah.
inn anyway. You can discuss this then. All right. So, did you talk to someone to know where? Yes,
Yes.
where the garrison is. All right. So you start heading towards the garrison. You pass some people, and as you're passing, you see a little bit more militia and you start coming towards the entrance of the town that you actually came from. And there is a building a little bit more further to the left, a couple of like 3 or 4 buildings down. That seems to be a little bit bigger than the others. It has a little bit more of concrete walls, finer windows, and some banners, but it's not like super crazy.
Yeah.
It's just enough to make it stand out towards every other houses, as well as a little bit more guards there and stuff.
Okay.
That must be our barracks. Our
Yeah.
garrison.
You can hear some horses in the back.
Well, let's see if we can find a rod.
All right. So you go up to the door, and one of the guardsmen that's standing, there's 2, flanking from the left and right, says, "Oh, what's your purpose, sir?"
We are seeking horses?
Horses.
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 Okay. We don't know you, and horses are valuable. Well, do you have any other purposes that maybe I can let you in? Because I can't just let you into our headquarters unless you have business.
We're on a mission from the Lord Marshal to investigate the missing children in this area. We have a lead, but it's a bit out of town. We were wondering if we could borrow a horse for a day or two to get us out there and back, and hopefully find some missing children.
You would be able to get there and come back in a day's beefy dubs. But
Well, I was just making it easier with horses.
gotcha. He's like, really? Well, do you have any proof of this? Because that's a pretty tall claim.
Wouldn't we have like at least missives? We wouldn't have the insignia that he has, but wouldn't we have like a missive or something saying, showing where we had taken the quest that had been posted?
No, but you do have some form of the Legion, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, we both
I
have
can
that.
pull out my.
Yeah, I'll pull out my sergeant insignia from my time in the league, my time in the army.
Oh, you're a part of the Legion. Well, yeah, you can go in. I don't know if you're going to be able to get horses, but obviously, if you're part of the Legion, you're here for a reason, and it kind of matches up what you're saying. So yeah, just go in. Go ahead and find Sergeant. I wrote his name, but
Sergeant
I don't.
Eric?
Swear to Christ.
Or Sergeant Kendall, maybe?
No, I wrote down his name.
Sergeant Troop sounds really like familiar and realistic in my opinion.
How many people have actually gotten confused as to that?
I've been called platoon before, just to
Sergeant Bradley.
With you.
Sergeant what?
Bradley.
Bradley.
been called company as well.
You've been called
Sergeant Company.
Sergeant Company.
Man, I had a really good name for him, but I fucking
Sergeant Platoon, Sergeant
Every
Company, Sergeant Troop.
Kill yourself.
Sergeant Squad.
For each time you said anything
Alright.
other than true.
So they step aside and allow you to enter the door.
Alright.
All right.
Go find Bradley.
So you open the door, you go inside, and you can see that this place, it's split up to what you can tell aside was a 3-story building. You can see that it opens up to the left and to the right. You can see some stairs towards the front that leads upward to the next floor. And you can see some guards just standing about, some moving around. One of them is inside and says, "Oh, can I help you?"
Where did you see Sergeant Bradley?
Oh, second floor to the left. He should be in his office.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So you two begin heading up the stairs, again passing a few other militias and stuff like that. You can hear some people, you can assume some other people complaining to the garrison about some issues they have. Well, other than that, it's usually just busy. You can see that some of them are kind of scrawny, because it is a makeshift one. This is a full-blown one, while others seem to be more battle-hardened veterans. As you're passing by, you go to the left, and you can see what looks like a door with what looks like a plaque of some sort imprinted on the door, and it says Bradley.
The door is shut.
Yes.
Give it a tap.
You give it a knock. He says, "Yes, come in."
Opens the door. Goes in.
All right, so you open it up, and you can see what looks like a very big man. He's actually a Goliath.
Oh.
Yes.
This is a big desk.
Yeah, he is huge. He's completely bald, but he has a beard going down. You can see battle scars all over him. He is just freaking. You do not want to mess with this guy. He does have some pretty nice leather armor on him and such, and you can see what looks like a big Zweihander onto the left corner, just in its sheath. Well, not sheath. Just hanging or just chilling around the corner. You can see some chairs, and you can see what looks like to be the head of a bugbear hanging on the
Nice.
wall.
I like this guy.
That's a sentient being right there. Jesus.
He doesn't look up from his desk. You see him writing down some. What you need?
I'm here to hopefully procure a horse or two.
He looks up and says, "And you are?"
My name is Nail. I'm with the Legion, and we're here looking for the missing children.
"Oh, the Legion. Go ahead, come in. Close the door behind you." So you close the door. He leans back. You guys take your seats. Says, "I don't see much ex-companions coming around this town often."
We're pretty much looking for the missing children. We've received orders from the Lord Marshal.
Lord Marshal Lionsbane. That's his name, by the way.
Artemis.
Artemis Lionsbane. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Information, please. Great guy. I always was fond of him. Although, not pretty fond of the Legion, though. Yeah, have my reasons. And he motions towards the right. You can see some X or symbols of the Legion itself. You can deduce that he was part of the Legion himself. Probably not anymore.
Deserter. Coward.
I mean, at this point, it doesn't hurt my feeling.
As he motions to that, you guys gonna say anything?
Well, I mean, I'm sure you've had your reasons, and I'm still quite young myself, so.
Right. He leans forward. He says, "Has there been any news of the magic?" I can't think right now. Burp.
Magic burp?
Ghastly.
My mind is going blank.
Green bag of
It's a word in my head. I had it, but as soon as I was about to say it, I lost it. Magic, not depression, but subjugation. Any word of magic subjugation or racism uprising in the Legion? Because I know it was getting pretty bad.
Not since I've been in, but I also haven't been in very long. I myself am a magic user, so.
Interesting. Have you ever heard of... I wish I had all these names. I wrote them down specifically for this event. Wait, I don't want to pop out names and be like, all right, we're changing them. I don't have... Asmere names. Name me, do you know any leaders or sergeants that are in the Boris Legion?
Uriel.
I know there's Aurelia is the leader technically of the Legion.
Right.
I feel like the Fire Song and Thunder Song, or Thunder Cleric that I just got is actually part of the Legion too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have any like magic names that immediately come to mind.
Right, because I looked up the stuff since you wanted to base your story around that, so we can get a dope,
I mean, you can make them angel names.
Yeah, Gabriel, Uriel,
Amenadiel is another one.
Michael.
Yeah, we'll
Mikhail.
we'll just say, yeah, I guess we'll go off
Soldad.
the Christian names for Asmire's.
That'd be Lars's family, Soldad.
R.I.P.
Alright, except for Azrael. Don't use that one.
Don't use Azazel.
Or that one. Azazel and Azrael, don't use those.
Yeah.
One's a fallen angel.
drama like.
Or drama like. One's a demon. One's the angel of death. And one's just random.
It's just random.
Have you ever communicated with Lieutenant Wardron?
Well, you're not there.
Oh yeah.
Maybe in passing once.
I advise stay away from that man. I don't know whose commanding leader you're under, but he's one of the reasons why I left. I've seen a few things that I wish not to talk about.
I won't press for any more information on that, but I will definitely heed your word.
Anyway, back to the matter of hand, the acquiring of these horses. Horses are, as you know, pretty expensive. This town is not, he motions towards the mirror or window in the back. It's not the most best of shape. They're scarce, and they are important. I cannot lend you a horse, or I can't give you a horse. However, if you can maybe lend us some donations or something that can help the town garrison, I could perhaps lend it to you. I wouldn't normally do this, but as members of the fellow legion, I can see that you guys aren't in the factions that's against magic, and I feel like I can trust you to help. I'm gonna be honest. He leans forward. I don't think it was Israel that was the cause of these children, and I highly doubt this is the witch's return.
I'm gonna definitely say I agree with that.
Alright.
We've been doing some investigating ourselves, and definitely seems to be staged.
Yes. I don't know if you've investigated the cellar in your house, but that is not a correct necromancy circle. That was makeshift.
Definitely.
Unfortunately,
It's a bit.
unfortunately, when you have a woman, especially magic, that's in a town that's not very favorable of magic, screaming, "Yes, I killed your children," the townspeople who lost their children may not find that kind. So,
It's easy to get people riled up.
indeed. So, unfortunately, she had to be executed. And as much as it tore me apart to do that, I had to. And then we lost some good people because she was the only apothecary, like Boulder's wife, such and such. In fact, I sent my adopted sister and her husband to go towards Rodam. It's a village nearby. You know where Rodam is. It's the village you first met up in.
Mm-hmm.
I was sent them with a carriage and some supplies with their child to maybe hopefully get away from this.
Would we happen to know that was the carriage we came across?
Man, as far as you know, there was a carriage.
Oh no, shit fire.
I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna just kind of nod my head at that one. I don't
Was
feel like
there? I'm not there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're not.
I don't feel like that's a good subject to go on, so we'll just accept that. No, definitely. Yeah, if you have a list of the supplies that you'd like donated, we can definitely take a look and see if we can assist with that. I don't see it being a problem.
Do you have any, like, I don't suppose, spelled weapons or such? There's not much that we have. And since Boulder went to his depressional state, he's not really been active in helping the garrison.
I give him the 4 javelins I carry. I don't use them much anyway, so I just go ahead and at least give him those.
Let's see. I have a light hammer and I have a mace. I can offer the hammer. It's a throwing hammer, basically. And I'll tell them. I think some of our companions might have some more that we might be able to offer. If we can get a horse and a wagon, I think that'll be enough to be able to do what we need to do, and we'll bring it back, of course. And we can get you some more supplies as well.
He's ruffling through some papers. He's trying to. Looks like he's looking for certain documents or certain things, and he's of course. I appreciate your donations. It will help the garrison out very, and I'm sure I can rely back on you guys to help further the garrison if we need for other things, as that's Legion is. He's writing down something, and he hands it to you. He says, "Take this to the stables towards the back. There is a stable master called Charles." Ow.
Tony.
Charles. He will, if you give him this, he will allow you to take a horse and a carriage for 1 day. But this will need to be returned. I apologize. I would, of course, allow you to either purchase these or trade, but they're very scarce right now. In fact, you are taking one of the 2 carriages we have.
We'll make sure it gets back in one piece.
So as you go to take it, he doesn't let go and says, "I'm trusting you. I don't know you, but I feel good spirits from you. Don't make me regret this." He lets go. What? I got other business to attend to. It's marvelous meeting you. Oh, I apologize. I didn't even get your names.
My name is Nail.
No, he puts up his big, massive hand.
My hand gets swallowed.
Yeah. He doesn't squeeze it tight to where it's a death grip, but it's a nice, firm grip. It's like he can judge your hand size to the point it won't crush you for the massive amount. You can tell from just that contact, he seems to be a very kindred spirit. Indeed.
Russ.
And he grabs, and you give a nice squeeze back. He was surprised. It was a strong one.
Tried to be.
Of course. Anyway, I wish you the best of luck in the investigation. If you hear anything, and you need any help, make sure you come to me.
Definitely.
And do not come to anyone else.
Agreed.
Wish you best of luck. And then he goes back to his paperwork.
Oh,
We could take a little break for a little bit and grab some more refreshments and everything, since we've been going a little over an hour now, or however y'all want to do it.
How much time do you
I've
got?
got a dip in 15 minutes, 4:30.
Okay, well, let's play for 15 minutes so you can play as much as you can. Then when he starts to dip, we'll...
We'll move on from there.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll go to the stable master Charles and grab the horse and carriage, and I'll just sit in the driver's seat and take off.
Yeah, you give the papers to Charles. I'm going to speed it up a little bit because I want him to do something. He takes it and says, oh, yes, this all in order. I'll see you tomorrow to return it. And, yeah. And so you thank him, and you take the horse and carriage. You can see it's kind of a very buff horse. It seems to be more...
It's built. It's like a stout.
Yeah, it's not like a normal horse. You can see it's not built for speed, but for actually... pulling.
Oh, it's but no,
That was, yes.
yeah, Clydesdale. Thank you. It's a
you're welcome.
big freaking horse.
All right, so you take the reins and you start heading towards the town square. All right, who's driving it?
Yo,
Okay.
definitely has perks with that.
Okay. So you don't need to roll anything. All right, so you're guiding it towards the center. You two are already waiting, and you can see this carriage and your horse, big thick horse, coming towards your location. You can see your two companions on it.
I think we have one transportation.
Suppose the conversation went well then.
Well, I think so.
So what's the plan, you two?
As they
approach.
as they come closer, yeah. So, how did it go? Is everything well?
Well, we have this for a day. We need to move to the cave quick.
Do we even know what we're doing there? Should we not talk to Father Trisha, whoever, to get some more insight?
I think we need to talk to him later if we're going to talk to him. But I think we got what we need to investigate further from.
We only have this for one day. What time of day is it?
It's about at this point you got up at 7, so I'd say it's only like 3. You'd have enough time to do whatever you need to do in the church. If you make it quick, then go to...
Oh, no, we're heading straight cave.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the
Then,
cave.
let's go ahead and go. I go ahead and jump into the car. Or jump into the thing.
I swing by the end and I go in to talk to Kara.
yeah, sure. Yep, you go inside, so you can see she's taking care of some patrons.
Miss Kara.
Stuff.
Yes.
Me and my friends, we're running up to the cave where Idrid confessed. Huh?
Yeah, it's
Idriel.
Idril. My
Like
bad.
Israel, but
Idril.
Israel.
Okay. Where Idril confessed. We're gonna do some investigating. If we're not back in a couple of hours, will you or your brother come up and grab the horse and carriage and take it back to the garrison for us?
I don't think it's safe for us to go out, and we have. I mean, I'll ask. I'm not sure. I mean, it is the woods. It's out at night.
That or just ask one of the local militia force.
Yeah, we'll find a garrison man, and we'll
Thank
work
you.
to him.
And I just walk out the door.
Okay.
Not
And
back
she
on.
shouts back, "Be safe."
We'll try.
Pickles.
Yeah.
So, sorry, someone fill me in. Why are we going to the cave?
It's just you
Right
three
now.
now because he's inside talking.
Yeah. So, what's the whole purpose of just jumping into this cave?
Because we only have this wagon for a day. The church is inside the town.
What do we need the wagon for in the first place?
To get us there quicker, and if we find anything that we need to bring with us, we'll be able to bring.
You do know you'll have enough time to do everything, by the way.
What do we know about this cave? Just by itself. Did you find
It's the
anything?
question, exactly.
Well, I'm looking around to see if there's any other prying ears close to us.
There's a few people, but they're not really paying attention to you. They're doing their own thing. You can
Okay.
easily whisper something and you won't be caught.
Okay, so this is in whisperish enough for you guys to be able to hear it. We spoke with the quartermaster in the garrison, and he's an ex-legionnaire. He, like us, thinks that all of this was a sham by the church.
Right.
Well, he didn't say by the church, actually.
Well, he thinks this is it's a sham. So he's agreed to offer us, or he wants to help. We just have to keep up with the carriage and get that back to him because this is really important, and he needed some help. But from what we could find out, we're not the only ones. It's just down on the hush that something went down that shouldn't have gone down.
Right. I mean, that's been my speculation from the start, but I'm real.
Let's think about
I think by this
About
point
going
I
to this
probably
cave.
came back.
Let's think about it like this. We go to the cave. We find out what we have to. We go to the church afterwards. If we do, they ask questions, we ask questions, but we already know what's in the cave. We have answers. Things that they probably did not already investigate. Because they just burned her almost outright.
But did we not kind of rush headlong into the cave the last time? You know, when my last friend died.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. We did.
That's when you come into conversation.
We did. However, this will be different. I promise you. No more mistakes.
If we run into a group that powerful, we get out. We go and get the militia and come back.
Why not seek a bit of knowledge first? We're already here in the town. We've got time. It's 3 in the afternoon.
There's a...
I tell you what, I'm not going anywhere blind again. I lost someone doing that.
Well,
I'm
I'll
not
go ahead
being
and tell
naive
you,
again.
our only options are going blind. We go to the church, we go into there with absolutely no information other than the slight bits that we've been able to glean from people. We could easily be manipulated by the head priest if he is involved. Or we go blind into the cave, get what information we can gather, because I guarantee there's something going on in that cave. She didn't just walk off in there, come back out, and in front of everyone confess to killing multiple children. Something is going on in that cave. I prefer to at least have an idea of what's going on in there before I go and talk to a bunch more people. We need information right now, and we're not going to get it from the church, especially us three.
If you're truly uncomfortable with it, stay here. This will be a more difficult task for us, but you can always stay.
I tell you what, if you're hell bent on going right now, I'll catch up. But I'm going to find out something before I go in there.
So you're going to go to church while they go to the...
I guess I'll go to the church by myself at this point.
Okay. Well, in case of something happens, again, I am sorry. And if we do meet after this, then good. If not, then you have been a good companion.
I pull out one of my hand axes and hand it to him.
It's a little heavy.
Well, look at it this way.
Thank you. It's a little much, but thank you.
Look at it this way. At least you have a little bit extra now. And I just hop up onto the carriage and wait.
So
I
I
kind of
guess
look at you as if we've been through this before. We've been through a lot, so I'll be more careful this time. But if anything happens, please talk to him.
Wait, so you're staying with me?
No,
No.
I'm going with.
Oh.
Yeah, whenever he comes back.
Okay, well, I'm gonna hop in the carriage
Relays it.
while they're having their bit of a conversation, and I'll disguise self to be a different human now,
Okay.
and then I'll hop back out of the carriage.
I kind of watch him as he kind of goes off. That goes a good egg.
Agreed.
Well,
All right.
let's see if
So
we can
now
go.
I split, and that actually is very convenient.
Yeah,
'Cause-
and that's why. Well, I mean, if it
Hey,
doesn't work out
that's
that
why
way,
I did it like this.
I didn't even think about that.
I don't want to die, but in case I do.
Still got 5 minutes. We can see what happens.
Bro, if I die,
So you want to focus on
better be
Trey for the?
distraught.
Or I'll do it next time, and I'll just listen to what they're gonna be doing. I don't know.
Well, they might come in midway
I totally forgot
of what's going
I
on
didn't
on the
look at
church,
character.
what you'll be doing,
Okay.
because we already discussed how
Looking
that's
at
going to
the
happen.
characters.
So, I'll RP you at that point.
Just
If it
in
comes down to it,
case.
but it'll be towards the end of the session if we get down to it.
Gotcha.
There's been more than
I mean, we might not even
cast that
get to
one
there.
thing on us.
So it just depends on how much
7
time
o'clock,
we
3
use
o'clock now.
doing
Okay.
everything.
It's getting close. Because 8 to 4. No, it's been 8 hours. We lost it. 7 to 3 is 8 hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Well, I
take
can
that off my
recast
health
it if I
now.
need to.
But anyway, guys, thank you
Awesome.
so much for watching this. We're going to take a little quick break. It's just going to be like a cut in, cut out for you guys. But thank you so much, Trey, for joining us today. Unfortunately, he has to go. Family stuff. But we will come back and find out what happens to our adventurers in the Cave of the Burning Witch. Alright, be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. We just got done taking a break. We want to talk about a few things about what we're planning, and they had some pretty good ideas. Unfortunately, Trey is not longer with us. Even his character isn't here. He is currently at the church, and these 3 amigos are going to the Witch's Hill. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. I don't think no one's going to die.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw my figure your way just in case something happens.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you-
They're all right by your
Yeah.
thing, just in case.
You know what we'll probably do, honestly? What you'll be doing, Tim?
Metal, it's heavy.
What you'll be doing, your position, actually, will probably be the
I get to do
the
the
Grid
battlefield.
Master. Your name is the Grid
I'm
Master.
the grid master.
Basically, it's like, yo, I'm about to describe the grid. Code it for me. Write it down for me. But yeah, I don't think there'll be a fight, but who knows? Well, you never know. We'll probably be playing for quite a few hours, maybe 1 or 2 more hours. We'll see what happens.
Hey.
But yeah, with that said, guys, let's get back into the world of Yorn. So, you say your farewells to Porthos, who really wanted to go to the church for whatever reason, is shapeshifting to what you saw, kind of a scraggly beard guy. He seems to be 5'6". He's got kind of a brownish hair. You've never seen this guy, or this image before, so you don't know where he particularly got this from. Maybe from past adventures. But he gives a nod, and he departs, leaving you all alone in this square of Great Chester with your horse and carriage. What do you do?
Well, I've already said my goodbyes in case I die. I'm just pretty much chilling on the carriage at this point.
Okay.
I'm in the driver's seat, ready to go.
Same.
All right.
Not in the driver's seat, but I'm ready to go.
He's riding shotgun without a shotgun.
All right. So you get into the carriage. Go ahead and code it or write it for me. Good catch.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do a
Catch me.
3x6. And
Big carriage.
That's a very
That's
big
a
carriage.
big ass carriage.
well, it's
That's
enough
30
to.
That's 30 feet. That carriage is massive.
3x6.
That is a big
That's
carriage.
15 feet
Do
by.
it by 3x4 instead. I didn't realize that was so big.
Yeah.
And I could dance this thing.
You talking about you could live in it.
Yeah, good.
Anyway, while he's doing that, you all get into your carriage. And you begin to head towards the Burning Witch's Hill, which happens to be a hill that's looming in the distance. You can see that you had to go towards the north to head towards here, more towards the coast. But it's like a stop by on towards the right if you kept going towards the road. As you're departing, you can tell, you can see that it's about, at this point, it's about like maybe like 4 in the afternoon. It's kind of hard to tell. Obviously, gray clouds above you, kind of looming over, making people,
But the light is starting to fade.
Yeah, from the distance where you can see where the gray clouds stop, you can see it's starting to shade to a darker color.
Okay.
The sun behind your back kind of is starting to descend down, and you continue to head on towards the Burning Hill. Some have come to call. So you're trotting along. Horseshoes doing their thing. And you say it'd probably take about like 30 minutes, you estimate, now that you have horses, to get there. Do you want to say anything amongst each other?
No, I think I'm just gonna stay quiet and be in my own head, getting ready for whatever we happen across.
I'm a little anxious because the last time we tried to go to a cave, we were unpleasantly. There was an unpleasant result. So I'm kind of sitting there, not really meditating, but I'm thinking very hard on how to do things a little bit differently. I'm looking a little bit nervous, probably.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stare up at the clouds at this point.
Okay. So no one looks towards the back.
Clouds.
Well, he's sitting in the back of it, so I don't know what direction you would be orienting yourself.
I'm driving,
In the
so I
back.
like to think
So
I'm looking
if you're
forward.
looking up, you're looking up.
I'm looking up, but what are you doing?
You know what?
Almost
Are you
like a
looking up?
PTSD stare. I don't know.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me inside. I'd say occasionally you look back just to check on. So while you're rolling, basically the travel going over there, it's a pretty open field, much like everywhere else. It's the Everglades. The Everglades is known for its big, long
Yeah.
pastures of just nothingness,
Yeah.
but grass. And as you're trotting along, you soon come to where the road begins to fork to the right, and it starts leading towards the hill. This hill, you don't really get any anomalous aura from it, or this bad feel, ominous feeling from it. It's just a hill, a cliff. You can see that probably it'd take about 15 more minutes to get there in your current pace. There's no trees or anything near it. It just continues on upward into where you see what looks like a small black hole, at least from your distance, where you can assume is the entrance to the cave.
I got a 19 on that roll, by the way.
Nice. You look back, you can see as the horseshoe trample on the rutted dirt road you're on, you can see your companion Sindred, who's just kind of seems pretty anxious. You can see him kind of tapping his upper arm a little bit. He's just kind of shaking his leg.
Tapping up her arm. Yeah, I'll be tapping my foot a good fast pace just out of nervousness, but yeah, that's about it.
Oh, okay.
If I'm close enough, which I think I should be since I'm imagining you're just sitting like right there.
Yeah, I'm sitting like close to the front in some way. Yeah.
Tap on the shoulder.
Hmm?
It'll be fine.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be.
This isn't gonna be like the last cave.
Yeah. No, it's definitely good enough. Not going to be the last time. Still not swaying me to be less nervous, but I'm starting to think of like every spell that I know and every spell that I can possibly use, and each cantrip and everything that I can do.
Right. Okay. So you continue on forward. You just letting him do his own thing, and you soon become to the entrance of the Witch's Hill. You are currently in front of what looks like this mountain. It's not like a full-blown mountain to where it's like 120 whatever feet in the air, but you could say it's a pretty small hill, enough to where it's like a little cove inside. It's a little bit elevated from the ground around you. You could say maybe this is about, if you were to jump off, it comes to a slope. So you'd be sliding down the slope, but it'd probably be about like a 20 feet slope.
Okay.
And in front is just an open cave, just like how you would normally see. You could see like you can climb the mountain if you really tried. There's some hinges or ledges you can climb upon, but nothing really stands out to this mountain to you.
pull the carriage up as close to the entrance to the cave as I can, hop off, unhitch the horse, but tie him off to the cart so he can't run away.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just kind of look at everyone and like, ready?
I'm good.
I'll take a moment. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm ready.
Oh,
As in, as I will be, I guess.
well, let's go then, gentlemen. And I lead the way into the cave.
Before we go into the entrance, I want to take a look at the outer lining of the cave. Is there anything on it? All right.
There's a little, basically what you're seeing of the cave.
So,
It's just rock. Okay. There's nothing. There's like no runes or anything.
Nothing.
Okay.
You see nothing that stands out to you. It looks like a pretty ordinary. I mean, it's pretty dark inside. You can see a little gray because obviously night vision. But for you have to like either really focus from where you're at to really see what's inside, or go inside.
I want to kind of roll perception anyway, because I'm
Sure.
very cautious at this point.
excuse me.
So I'm out my phone.
Unless someone wants to assist him,
I'll assist.
Alright, so
you'll have.
advantage. Well, that's a 14. And that's a 13. 1 second. 14 plus 18.
You can make out what looks like a large, deep inside a cave. You maybe about like 20 feet once you get inside. That there looks to be like a wooden stake implanted into the ground, standing above like maybe like 10 feet. You can see that it kind of like stretches the inside of the cave. The interior kind of goes into like a coliseum kind of look, except a mini version, obviously. You can see maybe it goes up to maybe like 20 feet or 15 feet in the air.
Okay. As I see this, I go ahead and roll into the pie. Looks like this is getting a little bit wider. If it gets any bigger, then this was used for a different purpose.
Gotcha. Let's go find out. And
I'm,
I kind of like hand my axe to you so you can cast light on it since you've done it
Sure.
once before. And
Make sure
Take
I
it away.
have. Give me 1 second. I have a crossbow. Or excuse me, no. I have a dagger, pretty much ready at the hand. I'm just kind of ready at this point.
Okay.
Flame full.
Make a
bright.
5x8 grid, or 5x7 grid. My bad.
5x7?
Yeah.
Is that the inside of the,
Yes. Just leave one of the squares open for the entrance. It'll be a 5 feet entrance.
Alright, so we'll do.
Box, I assume.
Make it, I mean, it's gonna be like a circle, like an arena thing. But if you want to make it a box just because it's easier, you can.
Alright, so 5x7.
As you go inside, well, he's doing his grid. You go inside, and you can all see that the stake that Sindra pointed out earlier is, in fact, in there. You can see that it's a little bit rotten, obviously kind of charcoaled a bit from past burning, you can assume, of...
About where in the arena is that?
it's in the middle.
Yeah, it's like 25 feet. You said 20, 25 feet.
So right here.
Yeah. Whatever the feet that is.
Oh, so I'll just do a circle. And you said there was like a stake in the middle of it?
Yeah.
Like a fire?
Right, you can
it's a
see...
stake.
Yeah, you can see what looks like a little bushes and burnt bushes and stuff that's right beside it. You can see what's left of probably dust on the ground, because this was obviously used a long time ago, 10 years in fact. And nothing really that stands out to you other than that.
While
You
we're
can
around-
hear like occasional,
I'm gonna.
which is just like air blowing in here.
Since we've got time while we're investigating, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Sure. You take about, what is it, about like 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
Take about 10 minutes doing your thing, you guys waiting for him to be done. And you aren't able to detect anything, actually.
Well, it seems to be clear of magic, at least.
Well, that is good. That's
My camera just died, PT Dubs. I forgot to charge it while we were doing our thing, so you guys will not be seeing my beautiful face for the rest of the session.
Bravo, sir.
But these are the true.
Lies. Lies and slander.
lies and slander indeed.
Alright, taking off my shirt, ladies.
The
No, he's
fuck
not.
is wrong with you?
We just got like so many viewers now.
Oh, yeah, I'm
in this
sure we
video.
do.
They're just imagining
It's
you
just
would
it's just
turn
a
off.
tease at this point. God, why are you doing this game?
I don't know.
That's just rude, man. At least keep your freaking pants on.
Oh, you spoiled it. Anyway, moving on.
Well,
Looks down to make sure your pants are still on.
I was opening sun kiss. Yes.
Sure. Sure you are.
That's what the kids call it these days.
Kissing the sun. I'll go and just kind of do a loop around the perimeter, see if I can if I notice anything on the walls or anything that may or may not that
I meant to do that.
looks out of
It's like-
ordinary. Like if I can find any entrances leading further down in the cave, any writing on the walls, anything.
Yeah, sure. I imagine everyone else is doing the same, trying to look for things. Go ahead and roll perception, or if what?
Yeah.
Yeah, or if someone wants to give someone an advantage. Like, who has the highest perception? If you guys want to give someone an advantage.
Maybe me.
Probably y'all because mine's only a 2.
Mine is +4.
Mine is also a +1.
Oh, maybe whatever. I already looked the one time. As we go further in, I'll probably just kind of give you on that at that point.
Okay. Well, let's see if we get any higher than a 19.
Yes, your whispers.
That was a 23. So it was 19 plus 4.
Gotcha. So you're all feeling around the walls. Sindred specifically helping out Neil, and looking around see if you can find anything, but nothing really stands out to you. It looks pretty ordinary.
I'm gonna get closer to the stake.
Okay. You get close to the stake and you can see that there's like a little, what looks like it's just burnt wood. It's a little rotten. You can see some mushrooms starting to grow at the very bottom.
Is it just like into the ground?
Yes. In fact, it looks like if you just touched it and barely pushed it, the whole thing would just fall over.
So I think I'm gonna be weird here and pull out my mace and smack it.
Just
Alright.
smack with stick.
So you pull out your mace and you give it a good smack, not at full strength, but enough.
Like I'm trying to nail
Right.
hammer in a nail.
As you do, it's like you're slamming into you're slamming into like liquid in a way, because it just so easily just goes in and splintering in. The whole thing just like falls on the opposite end, not on top.
It's like rot or dead wood.
Yeah, it's like there was no resistance whatsoever. The whole thing completely falls. You can see some dust come up. You're like coughing a little bit.
So there's like no hidden door or anything leading on. Is just this room. Just
Not that you can find.
Does it go further back in?
No.
As far as the cave?
As far as you can tell, on the map is literally the end. Just rocky surface.
I'm gonna go to the very end of it. And
Okay.
I'm just gonna check out the actual end of the cave itself and just kind of
Alright.
go across it with my hand.
Again, you were helping doing this earlier. You don't really find anything. You all kind of just went around the cave doing whatever ways you can think of to.
What's left of that?
Sindred, my friend.
Yeah.
Like the steak.
Well, what's left of it?
How much is left of that though?
I mean, you can ignite it. I mean, like I said, there's like some shrubs and stuff growing beneath it enough to ignite it.
Now, shrubs or mushrooms?
There's some mushrooms, but there's also shrubs. Like, this is just like growing. Like, some people like threw stuff on it, maybe from the past or whatever.
I go ahead and just kind of make a small flame on it.
Alright,
So
you
to
can.
ignite.
You look at the leftovers, you know, some fire coming up. Not like a great bonfire, but enough to give light to around the area, and you can hear the little crackling of the plants and stuff, and it's nothing really happens.
I feel like there should be more to this.
Yeah.
What kind of
understand.
mushrooms and like brush is underneath it?
You can make me a nature check. It's currently burning, so it's going to be a little bit harder.
Sure. So with disadvantage or
Yes.
just okay?
I will assist.
Alright, well, no more disadvantage. Wait, are you proficient in nature? Okay, then yeah. Well, you might want to assist him then, because if he has a higher nature, well, you're not proficient in nature, are you?
No.
Oh, then yeah.
I am.
$13.
You're trying to sort it out, trying to look things out. Nell or Russ giving a few pointers here and there that you weren't really familiar with. But you're not really, both aren't really able to pinpoint. At one point, you were like, oh, maybe this is like the, a blue cat mushroom, maybe? But it's really hard to tell at this point because it's starting to get charcoaled and black. It does smell. It does
flame-
smell kind of funky, though.
Is this okay? So is the flame any different from anything I've seen before?
No, in fact, it looks pretty normal.
It's not illuminating anything I haven't already seen.
Nope. You can all roll me an insight real quick.
See if the DM is lying.
That's a nat 1.
I have no idea.
If it's on the ground, doesn't count.
That one disappeared. Let's get some more. Don't worry, I've got an extra.
Who better
Probably
than
not
us?
underneath me.
Just remember to look for that dice afterwards.
That is a 16.
16.
Oh, wait,
Don't
insight?
bother me unless I
Hold on.
6.
That was insight, not perception. Hold on. That is a 14.
Tim, move your feet.
I'm betting it's up under it.
Yeah, it's under the
It
thing.
was probably under here.
You were pretty, you know, sure, why not? It was, the DC was going to be 15, but I was like, yeah, you know what, why not? The only thing that you're getting off this right now is that everything is too ordinary. Everything is too normal. For starters, the woman was burned alive, a woman who uses magic. It's very weird that there's just
Thank you.
no residue of magic whatsoever when you can find residue at the other place. It's like there's no magic whatsoever. It's just very odd to you that everything is just so ordinary.
It's too normal.
Like a cleaning crew came through to clear it all up in case someone came back through to investigate.
Maybe.
Don't think that's how magic works. One cannot use magic to clean up residue of magic.
Something's not right here. Something's just not right. There should be more.
Is there more to the stake than I know it's still burning and what was broken off already? Can I check to see what was already broken off? See if there's anything different about it?
The fire's starting to die down. Everything's starting to get burned at this point. There's a little bit fire left, but you don't really see anything that's out of the ordinary from what you already tried to percept.
This is probably another extra step that's common knowledge for everyone to follow, like almost like a false trail.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. I think there's more here than we realize, but just not by our naked eye. There's no magic. There's no sigils. There's this one stake of rot growing underneath it. The cave itself is vacant. No runes, no pentagrams as before.
You put the fire out, I'm gonna pull out the stake. See if maybe that does something. Maybe it was holding the lich pin.
Fire's out.
Whatever remains of the fire is completely nuffed. It's just left to steak. It is kind of warm right now to the touch. Pretty warm. Just gonna
Does
grab
not care.
it. Okay, it is pretty hot. Make me a Constitution save real quick.
24.
Oh yeah, you completely push through the little singe of burn that you have from a freshly burned wood, and you pick it up, just kind of moving it a little bit to get a little air into your hands, palms to cool down a little bit. Cool it down, and nothing really opens up besides the fact that when you push your hand onto it, you're trying to be as gentle as possible while blowing it off, but your hands are kind of indenting into whatever's left, and you could easily smash this into dust.
Right.
But nothing really
happens
stands
when I
out.
pull the steak out.
Nope.
Or...
You're looking towards the bottom, and all you see is like a little hole that it was in.
So this was probably bogus. I'm gonna walk out of the car.
Raise his hands up. Said that. Walks out of the cave.
Shakes his head, looks at the steak, and then just pile drives it into the hole and crushes it into nothingness.
Throw it on the ground, either out of frustration or whatever, and it just like Thanos snapping it.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Russ.
Yeah.
And then you go all walk out of the cave feeling disappointed while also confused.
So not this stupid.
No. It's not adding up. It's like
It's
multiple
not that
pieces of
plain. It's not that plain. Because if it was, then there would be more commotion from this. I think this this general goods store owner has more to say than what we had gotten from him.
Agreed. Something else is going on.
It's not just the church.
It's like the whole town.
Alright, at that point I'm getting back on the wagon.
Yeah, I'll hop back in the seat and start heading towards the guard post to return it.
I'm not going to stick around here, so I'll definitely jump on the cart.
Alright, so y'all get in the cart and ride off.
As we start to ride off, from the hill, what can I see as far as like a view?
You can see the entire town, including the church. You have a complete overview of everything. It's a perfect view, in fact.
I don't mention this to anyone. I just
Like if you look towards more towards the north, where the Everglades. No, where if you look towards the north, my bad. You can see that within a few kilometers that it gets more towards the ocean. You don't. It's kind of hard to see, but you know for a fact from the geography of the maps you've seen, if you kept going towards north, you'll soon hit the ocean. See a few hills and open plains, maybe a forest or two. But
Alright, I don't mention this to anyone. I'm just kind of observe it and then just stay in the car.
okay. So y'all begin to head off. Some of you occasionally look back. Just look at the hill, just looming about, being ordinary.
Raises his hand, flicks off the hill.
Fuck you for being normal. And within 30 minutes, I assume you guys don't really say anything to each other.
Yeah.
Just-
No, I think we're all stewing in the confusion and disappointment.
Yep.
About 30 minutes, you begin to now
I was
enter.
burnt to the second level spell slot before we waited there. I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Well, before we head back, before I see the gates or whatever it is, so do we agree that we go see the store, the general store owner, or is there anything else we should probably accumulate? Do we go to the church? Because whatever they tell us is odds are ends, but whatever the people say is a bit, let's say, very biased in this approach. Not only that, but he's the only one that was, one, her personal friend, two, he was the one who helped and destroy her, and three, he was the only one when she was convicted.
Actually, when he says that, sorry to cut you off, going back, the Goliath said he's the one who had to execute her. Or at least that's how it was
That would
phrased.
have been part of his duties as a sergeant of the town militia anyway.
Well,
They
so
would have gone to him.
here's my question with that. He didn't say how he executed her. How do we know that one of these guys isn't telling us the full truth?
I believe someone told you that she burned on the stake.
Which
Yeah.
which is the
but-
store owner.
Yeah, the store owner and just.
I don't know.
Did you guys ask him how she died? Or
No, I think I'm going to ask that when we get back, though.
Yeah.
Carry on.
By the time that I'm done asking this, I'm hoping for an answer before we reach the gates.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gate. There's not really any gates, but you know, you're starting to enter the town's premises.
town.
Yeah.
The invisible walls that are clearly not there. I definitely want to talk to Bradley when we get there. Because first of all, obviously we're giving him the carriage back, but I also want to let him know what we didn't find, and I want to ask him about the execution.
Also, audience, I did not know Goliaths could not grow beards. In this world, they can. Okay, we're establishing that now because I did not know that. I was like, fuck.
They made it rock, so I mean,
Hey man, they rock the beards.
Well, they're a weird earth, so it's I guess.
Well, we're establishing it now. Goliaths in this world can grow beards. I know it's important.
Yeah, I just see Kratos now.
no, is it bad that I actually thought of like a giant from Skyrim?
Oh,
Nice.
Man, it's a big guy. He's like fucking 6'6", 6'7", hulking.
But okay, yeah. So I guess we can fast forward to us getting to the garrison, unless there's.
Are you
something-
guys going to the garrison or
Yeah,
church where Trey is?
I'm
By the time
returning the carriage.
that we park the cart, I get off and I kind of wait outside the general goods store.
Well,
I walk in that direction.
So are you getting off?
okay,
as we get
well,
into town?
okay, here we go. You're now entering the town. The first place you're going to be, I wish I had my map on me. Again, one of the things I forgot.
The garrison is basically right
Yeah,
there. but-
well, no, the first thing,
Oh.
because you had to go towards the north. The garrison's towards the south. Towards
Oh.
the north is the end, which is in front of the town plaza.
The end.
The
he
end.
burnt.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, the town plaza. So you're now in the town plaza. First things first. The closest thing is the end. If you want to go towards the general goods, that is towards the south, but they're going more towards the east, and you're going more towards the west, where the Boulders
places. Yeah.
places. It's more of a shopping district towards the west.
Okay. At that point, I would say before they take that turn to go to the
Let me off here.
yeah, just let me off here. No, or excuse me, let me off here.
All right.
All right.
Get
So
off, head that way.
you tell them you're going to head towards Fenrir's to ask them a few more questions.
Yeah.
You get off. It is about 6 at this point. PT dubs.
Yeah.
Sun night's really about to show. Give them in a couple more minutes. It'll just be black. And you part ways. It says, "All right, good luck. We'll meet up at the end, maybe." You do mention, Porthos is still at the church. No idea what's going on over there.
Nope.
And so you head on. Go ahead and roll. You know what? Actually, would be good.
I mean, if you want to follow him, what are you thinking, Almighty DM?
There's some things I wish I could tell you right now. I can't. Hold on. Would be a good way to do this.
Well, if you want to do Kendall first, I kind of have to pee.
Okay, we'll do Kindle.
And then This way, I don't think I have to worry about restarting anything while I'm gone, but this way I can at least participate.
Wait, did you go off with him?
But no, I'm
You're-
driving
okay.
a carriage. So.
Okay, making sure.
Alright, so you head on towards Fenrir's shop. Takes maybe about 10 minutes. Get up to the store, and there's some light coming from inside.
Knock.
Give it a good knock, and you hear, yes, come inside.
Open.
Open, you come inside. He turns around and says, oh, gee, I'm just seeing you guys all the time, aren't I?
Oh, hello, Fenrir. Hello. How are you?
I'm doing great. I've had a few customers come in and out. I think they came in today, didn't you? No, you came in today earlier. Says, yeah. Had a few come in, you and your friends and some others.
Oh, I see. Well, I wish to talk more about this unfortunate event that happened in your life as well. More about your friend. We went to investigate the cave and found nothing except one burned stake, but there is nothing magical in this cave.
Okay.
So I more or less I wish to talk about the trial. You say that she came out and openly said that she was abducting these children, right?
Yes.
How did she present that? Did she just come out right to you? Did you ask her? Did you interrogate her?
Well, for one, I wasn't really head of that. That was the church and the Sergeant Garrison. I was just one of the patrons that helped track her down.
Huh.
But from what I witnessed with me and a few peasants, Bradley and Father Trish, as we tracked her down, we cornered her in the cave. When we went inside, we asked for information, some verification, asked her about the bodies we found in her cellar, as well as the necromancy circle and such. And she just began to laugh hysterical and admitted to, yes, I was the one who killed them. You mindless peasants. I'm surprised you managed to find that out.
See, that's the thing, is that you've known her for years, so this was a surprise to you, no?
Oh yes, 100%. She was one of the most nicest people ever. And
So did you not question this?
I
I mean, true, it was coming from her lips, but being of magical descent, I would assume that you would know if someone was manipulated in some magical way.
I imagine mind manipulation magic is pretty high, as I told you before.
Is this
I'm
true?
not really keen on the magic, so I don't really know magic detection stuff.
I want to roll insight on that.
Sure.
It's not bad.
Should be under wisdom.
Oh, plus 6. Holy shit! That is a 19.
You can deduce, because you did succeed, he's telling the truth in this matter. He 100%, he's being honest. You get the feeling he's being honest about him not being able to know anything about magic detection and stuff. But there is still something he doesn't want. There's some kind of magic related thing that he does know about, he hasn't mentioned. But in terms of anything related to her or the trials and stuff, it's 100% genuine what he's saying.
See, no, I'm sorry. I believe you in this, but there's something that I can't help feeling that you're holding back. It's not participating in the trial itself, but it feels like there's something that you're not telling me. I would very much like you to be completely honest with me. Can I roll persuasion at this point?
This is one of those situations where it's like, even if you got a nat 20, I see no reason why he would ever tell you. It's more of a...
Shit. Am I gonna?
So I'm gonna have to say that he won't be able to roll for it. Like if you were like really good friends with him, which
No, he's an elf. He's not gonna be able to read.
Nope.
No, that's not gonna
He's
work.
got advantages against saving or saves
Versus
versus
charmed.
charmed.
I mean, you can try though. I mean, if you can
No.
successfully charm him, then...
It's not going to be able to work because he's got a lot against it. In fact, I think he. Hold on. Just charm person itself.
Oh, while you're looking that up, I'll just give the retort.
Yeah.
He's basically gonna be like, oh, well, you know, we all have personal information. I'm pretty sure you have information that you don't want to tell me, or maybe your friends, maybe you didn't want to
Not
tell me.
entirely. I've been completely true with you.
You mean there's not one thing that you're keeping from them? Maybe a dark secret, a past that you have not shared with anyone?
Well, they have not asked. I am asking you.
Well, if they were to ask, would you tell them?
So if they were to ask, then yes, I would tell them.
But would you tell the stranger?
Ask me anything.
What dark secret do you have?
It's not really dark secret. I had tried to, not really. I had tried to curse one of the elemental gods that was neighboring into my village, and so brought a fire elemental god, a primordial, to our village and took my sister and burned the rest of the village. Is that enough for you?
He kind of reels back a little bit and says, okay, that's pretty deep. He kind of looks aside and is like, would you like to have some tea?
If you don't mind.
He says, okay. So he says, well, why don't you come to the back?
Indeed, I shall. I go ahead and run to the back.
Alright, so you come to the back. He opens the door.
Your characters don't know this.
What?
He leads you to the back. It's a pretty nice place. You see some like collectibles from like maybe past adventures or just traveling around really. But you also see some like shamanic like totems and stuff. You see some things that are like wolf related things. You see a lot of things that are like maybe some a necklace of bones and stuff like that. But like birds.
Can I roll? What would I have to roll to acknowledge what this could be?
The only thing I could think arcane would be Arcana, and I'd say Arcana.
Okay. Oh, fuck. All right, that's a big bitch. Give me 1 second.
Big Bertha.
All right, so that's just Arcana.
Yeah.
That is a 23.
Nice, very nice. You know the elven folk are very magical oriented. There's actually quite a few things you know about elves, like being more of an older generation. They tend to be more known in magical stuff that's not known in the other parts. And you've heard stuff, and you know that maybe they participate in things that aren't specifically like dark magic or anything like that. It's just like it's old primal stuff that most people aren't aware of, and that maybe you can be like, maybe this is having a connection to it. I mean, you don't personally know anything, but you can maybe make the connections of the two.
See, this thing
Because he did say he is from Elvenheim, which is the Elven's capital. He is a wood elf.
So, as I'm kind of walking with him into the back, I'm just kind of noticing the decor and everything. So I'm noticing that you have a couple of things from law. Some.
Oh, my homeland? Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So, tell me, why are you collecting things that let's just say, predate most other magic? Some that is not practiced.
He's pouring his tea, and he says, well, they're from my homeland, so I don't see the harm of having things from my homeland for keepsakes.
True. No, I completely understand. But everything is so wolf-related. such a thing as in a sheep's clothing.
Well, I mean, they're all wolf related. It's just not everything is chicken bones. I mean, it just happens to be. I'm a practitioner. I really wish I had this goddess's name written down. Again, I of course don't have my fucking notes.
All right.
To do this.
He becomes the Grudge. Oh, they just got released.
I'm a protection. You know, I'm a wooden elf, and we have our own little clans and stuff like that. And the clan I'm from, we worship the Amarok goddess, the goddess of hunts. She happens to favor wolves.
Kerosene?
Well, you don't know.
No,
So
it was a joke.
Did you say kerosene?
Heracine
Oh,
from
okay.
Skyrim.
No.
So
The Daedric Prince of the Hunt.
So, can I roll history or religion? Oh no, religion on that. Know about him?
Yes. It is an old god. That's you have no relations to Oppenheim, do you at all?
I'll be honest, completely no.
I would do a religion because if you roll high enough, I'm sure maybe you might have heard rumors or.
Maybe you accidentally read the right book.
Right.
Religion. All right, that's a nat 18. Give me just a second.
It is a pretty hard difficulty though.
Plus 5. 18 plus 5.
That's 23.
Well, I said hard, not very hard.
Oh, that's true.
So, you don't specifically know because this is old magic. This is magic that predates civilization, and
Whoa.
you've heard of
Humans, I guess.
you heard of rumors that maybe like more of the older kind has practiced this. It is, mistress of the hunt and wolves. It's not a dark.
It's not dark arcane. I know that.
Yeah, it's nothing dark. In fact, you might even think of it as more of like a druidic, of course, but also more of like in a weird way, divine, where it's not really radiant magic, but it's from a divine god, and it basically protects nature in a way, and as long as like the natural order is established, nothing bad happens. It's something to really be scared of, but it's not really muchly known. In fact, it's very little information. There's not much you can get off other than that.
So
But you know a few clans practice it though. I already imagine.
I technically know of a few rumors of this, but true, I've never met any true practitioners. So that's a tea. I'm guessing we're already in the room to have
Yeah.
the tea.
And he just got done and he puts the tea down? Yeah, of course.
Before he pours it in anything, so as I said, we went to the hill to look a bit more, quite a bit of a view of from up there. Also noticing that technically within the cave there seemed to be a pyre. Did you say that it was within the cave or outside the cave?
You just constantly
Yeah.
flipping your
Yeah, that's right. That's
inside.
right. This is a objection.
No. Are you asking was she burned outside or inside?
Outside the cave or inside? Yeah.
She was, of course, burned inside. In fact, you asked me earlier if I was going to say something to townsfolk. Obviously, this seems out of the ordinary. In fact, a few people found this out of the ordinary. You asked me earlier about that, and when you have a woman who is screaming, "I killed your children, you're all idiots," to a bunch of angry people who lost their children. Let me finish.
Okay.
When you, unless it's very important, unless you want to interrupt it.
Go ahead.
When you're saying that to a bunch of parents who had lost their children, their reasoning tends to go, and Father Trish ordered basically
Bradley?
Sergeant Bradley to tie her up with a stake in the burner. She did not fight back. Surprisingly, she kind of let it happen. This militia grabbed her, put on a stake, tied her up, and burned her.
She a very high-willed woman. High-willed.
Oh. That's yeah. Yeah, she was.
Interesting that she would give up so easily. Also noticing. Tell me about this Father Trish. It seems like the rest of the village, the town, respectively, tries to ban or look down upon the magical users, or just magic in general. Now, this is the way of the church here. I understand that, but how convenient would it be to choose a woman outside of this village on her own, living on her own, randomly confessing when she has no inkling of this beforehand?
He's a decent fella. I mean, it's true. He is not particularly fond of magic users. I'm not sure if there's a reason behind it. He came into town, established a church to help have the economic trades from the high church, so they can establish supply line here. And ever since the church came here, the town has been better, believe it or not. As he motioned towards everyone. But he was he wasn't very in on magic users. He didn't look down upon. He didn't openly say down with all magic users or anything. He just, you could tell there was like a slight disdain for it. And sometimes when he was talking to me, in fact, when I talked to him sometimes, before this events happened, he told me that, maybe I should give up on my magic ways and find enlightenment beneath the Orzala Church. But as towards the conveniency, I'm not sure, because as I don't really associate with him that much, and they just got a tip that she was the person stealing everyone.
Was this tip anonymous?
As far as I know.
You also mentioned that there are parents of the children that were having these nightmares.
Yes.
Is there a particular or more recent set of parents that have witnessed this or have experienced this?
The most recent one would be Adriel's family. Although I would actually advise you find someone named Colin, whose recent child has been having nightmares. And Colin, yes. In fact, we all think their child's going to be the next one, and at this point, we've all given up on trying to help them. We tried to hide them in the church sometimes. We try to hide them in the inn. No matter where we hide them, they just disappear.
They just vanish, basically.
But everyone that seems to guard them, all seems to have the same nightmare of a burning woman, which they assume is Israel screaming at them.
Interesting. Very good. Has he already presented the tea?
Huh?
Has he already presented the tea, by chance?
Yeah, he's already been drinking it.
Oh, I don't want to be rude. I'll go ahead and drink a little bit.
I mean, it tastes good. Nothing really stands out to you.
Okay, I go ahead and drink it for, again, I wish it was tea. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to badger you some more. But at the same time, I just want to make sure that I have everything right. I do believe you 100%. First of all, I am very impressed that you remember the old ways. That is very uncommon nowadays. I respect that very much.
Of course, elves tend to be the older kind. And if you ever were to visit Elvenheim, if you're able to get in, maybe you'll find things that are uncommon to be common.
This is true. Well, it is again 100% a pleasure to speak with you. Maybe the next time that I come in, I may purchase more, and that way I can help you establish your shop. So I will be leaving now.
As you say that, you hear a loud knock on the other side, and you can hear someone in the distance that says, "Get out of here! Sindred! You are surrounded!" And, who's the Fenrir? He's like, what the heck is that? Did you?
I do not know what that is.
Do you mind if just stay right, or you can come with either do whatever you want, but just let me.
I'm not trying to hide anything, but if you don't mind, I'm gonna stay right here. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I'll stay right
He
here.
leans in. There's a door in the back. He points to the back. Just I don't
go
know
ahead
what's
and start
going on, but
I make my way to the door, but I do not open the door.
right. He says,
I listen, though.
right, and he says, and he's you can hear him say, I'm coming. Constantly knocking, and we're gonna switch to your guys' point of view.
Son of a bitch.
Oh my God! It's an inquisition! They've come for me. I'm gonna be burning on the burning cross. Well, I'm immune to fire, but you know.
Oh,
Act
no.
like you're being burned.
I'm burning.
Act like you're being burned.
No.
I need a pee. Hold up. I'm sorry.
And
Oh, fucking thanks.
I was about to say, as you guys, I just missed a call from my dad, so you guys continue doing what you do.
Yeah.
So
So I
this
guess
means,
we're about to kill a Goliath.
this means one of two things.
So Cinder's in trouble, guys.
Don't worry, we're gonna get you out, buddy.
Okay, thanks, man.
Go back to the fucking cave and hide there.
This means one of two things. Either the Goliath is who we need to be worried about, or what Trey doesn't know is something's about to go south at the church, and he just got in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And we're
I am
experiencing-
so fucking terrified that it's the church.
I'm waiting,
Because that means Trey is dead.
or at least in jail at this
Yeah.
point, being held.
Well, he did go to the jail dressed in magic.
I wonder if they have any anti-magic there.
Oh, I
So
bet they do.
walks through, transforms into whatever he looks
Yep.
originally. Everyone would see it.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. I fucking.
Oh boy. So, how alive is
Oh, dear.
Porthos?
What do you mean?
So, how alive is Porthos? Skate?
I don't know. I don't know these things.
Okay.
Alright, guys, we are back. Sorry about that. I had to take a leak. I rushed so fast.
Lies. It's been 20 minutes.
But, yeah, that was interesting what happened there.
No.
But I don't know what's happening there, but hopefully we'll find out. But let's jump on to you guys.
Alright.
You guys begin to split on the fort. Sindred, who's totally okay, is parting his way with you guys going towards Fenrir shot, and you guys are heading towards the garrison, I believe. All right. So you're still on your way, heading there. Are you gonna say anything to each other?
I feel like we need to find out what's going on.
I do too. Something's not adding up here. Being warned by the sergeant. Her just randomly confessing the shittily drawn necromantic circle. Fucking cloud.
Fucking cloud. Yes, that cloud looking up. There's something with that cloud. I'm going to figure it out.
Our best bet is not to trust anyone. If I trusted anyone in this town, it'd be Boulder and Fenrir. They're the only ones. Boulder because he's so far into the bottle. And Fenrir because he's like us.
Weren't you questioning Fenrir though earlier?
Well, I was 100% questioning him. That doesn't mean I didn't. He was lying about something. That doesn't mean I wouldn't trust him later on.
Alright. You
But-
seem to just not trust him.
He's also not human.
Yeah. At this point, I'm leaning after past dealings and seeing all the secrecy. I'm about the only human I trust in this town is Porthos.
What?
So I go on ahead and take the carriage the rest of the way to the guardhouse.
All right. So you get in front of the guardhouse. Nothing really sad. You can see some people starting to trade shifts and stuff. So there's a little bit more guards than usual, but no one's like in rushing or anything like that. Just happens to be another night. You can see one of them. It looks like it's what was the guy's name?
Charles?
Charles, yeah. You actually do see Charles, and he's like, "Oh, you guys are back already."
Nah, we weren't able to find much out.
Oh, that's a shame.
But as you can see, we at least brought everything back in one piece.
Right? Yeah. That is definitely true. It is definitely true.
If we can find more as far as donations to the militia, we'll help out.
Oh, that's very appreciative. I'm sure Sergeant Bradley will appreciate it.
Speaking of Bradley, is he still in?
Yes, he is currently talking to someone right now. But if you want to go talk to him, I'm sure if you just wait outside his office, he'll see you.
And at this point, I am like, it doesn't look it, but I have a hand on the great axe at almost all times.
Okay. Try not to metagame though.
Yeah.
Letting you know. That's why I didn't want to do a Kindle first.
Yeah.
But do your best. Okay. All right. So acting completely normal. Nothing bad has happened.
Yeah.
Watching.
Oh, so that's how it started.
No.
Oh. So you go inside, passing a few people. You can see Bradley's office. It's currently closed and stuff. You're not sure who's in or what's going on in there, but you're just gonna wait and then be done.
Is there any chairs or anything? Or are we just gonna stand outside by the door?
There's some chairs.
Alright. I guess I'll take a seat close and kind of keep an eye on the door.
I'll be kind of opposite him, just looking down the hallways.
Okay. Alright, so you guys wait. It takes about you guys wait outside. It takes about 3 or 4 minutes doing whatever you want to.
Do we hear anything? Like, is the conversation heated? Is it loud? Or?
Not that you can really tell.
Okay.
Am I dead?
No.
Okay.
However, about 3 or 4 minutes later, they're actually in front of Bradley's office right now. Nothing really has happened. You do see the door begin to open, and what you can see is what looks to be like a figure in a hood. You can't really tell much from this person. Seems to be pretty hidden. This person seems kind of startled a little bit. Turns back. Bradley's right there. He looks at you guys, and he puts his hand on this person's shoulder, and more like a comfortable grip. It's okay. And she nods at him and begins to kind of walk past you guys, trying to be as far distance from you guys as possible.
Do I recognize her? Because
she is hooded. You can roll me a perception though to see if you can get something. You can too if you want. So you can get something from her.
I got a 16.
12.
From what you can tell from the figure, it seems to be of a woman. It doesn't really, not really big or tall. It seems to be, you can tell this person's pretty skittish right now. I mean, you can't really tell.
I'm sorry, that's an 18.
18. The only thing you can really tell, mainly because it looks like they made a point to hide themselves, is the figure is that of a woman, not of anyone else, but you can't really tell anything else from it. And after she passes you guys, Sergeant Bradley looks at you guys, seems to be more of a stern look at you guys, and says, "Come in."
Alright. As we walk in, we brought your horse and carriage back. We didn't find much. In fact, not a lot of anything.
Alright. He closes the door behind you guys, then goes to around his desk. He sits down, leans back, and says, "Hi, I got you. Interesting. I appreciate you returning the carriage and everything. Have you guys talked to Father Trish?"
We haven't.
We? Is it
Us.
just you two in this town?
We have a companion we came with. He's been with me since the beginning. He's been with me since I met up with them. Another who was sent by the Lord Marshal. But other than that, no. I believe the one sent by the Lord Marshal went to talk to the father, but I don't know if he was successful or not. We parted ways when me, him, and the other went to the cave.
He leans forward. You can see you can definitely tell he's agitated about something.
Mm-hmm.
He's forwarding his brows, rubbing the bridge of his nose. Trust is a very important thing.
Agreed.
It's what allows us to do things we wouldn't normally do without regret. It allows us to move forward in things, to progress. We can't have an enjoyable life if we're constantly in the shadows of deceit, lying. I don't think you guys are of any threat to this town. You have done nothing to make you seem like you are. However, I need to talk to you two about something.
What's going on?
Kind of shakes his beard.
Keep going from the call.
He or scratches his beard. He stands up and is going towards the sword. It doesn't look like he's actively trying to reach for it or anything. He's just going towards it. And he says, "We got some information from a concerned individual that you guys are here to hurt Father Trish." He turns around. That you're here to kill him. I don't think you are. However, we cannot take such rumors lightly. You are new to this town. I don't think you would, but he is in a very important establishment, and I understand Father Trish, being that of the church, is not quite seen well from those of the magical folk. This is a very cautious case right now. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you guys, turn in your weapons. You're not going to jail. You're just going to be staying here until we understand what's going on. We're going to check up on Father Trish, make sure everything's fine. And then once we have, I believe there was 4 of you in all. Once we have the others in here and see that everything is fine, get your weapons back. In fact, I'll give some stuff back in return for the trouble, and we'll move on from there. But right now, things are not looking too good. There's apparently rumors spreading that you guys, that for random adventures, some being that of magic, which I'm sure you guys already know, is already a bad thing. This is just a bad case overall. I hate to do this to you. I really do. But I hope you understand where I'm coming from.
I mean, I can see that. We're definitely not here to hurt Trish. That is, we have no quarrel with the church. I guess before we go away willingly, if that's what we're going to do, looking over to Russ, I have one question before we go forward.
Of course.
You were there at the execution of the Burning Witch, were you not?
Yes.
Can you give us your recap of the event?
Of course. But first, where are your friends? I am more than willing to stay here and talk to you. Ask me anything you want. However, I'm going to need people to be sent to catch your other people and bring them back.
One of them, like I said, has gone to the church. The downside is he's not very good at being caught. He was part of the Lord Marshal's group for a reason. He was sent here with a knight of the Lord Marshal. That knight is now dead. Felled in the woods due to, from what I've gleaned from them, things that shouldn't exist. This individual is untrustworthy of anyone nowadays after losing his friend. The only ones who could talk him down would be us. If you sent men to try and capture him, it would not end well. Simply because he would either just disappear or, in a worst case situation, try to do something foolish. More than likely, though, he'll just escape. The other one is a good man and has tried his hardest to, upon knowing that he's not overly welcome in this town, has tried his best to stay out of the light. I don't know where he is. We parted when we first got into town. Said he had something to take care of. What? Not 100%. But I will say this. I know the general area where he is. I will go with you to help you bring him back. But I do not give up my axe. The last time I did, I watched everything I care about die in front of my eyes. I will not relinquish anything I can use to save those around me. Do you understand?
I understand where you're coming from, but...
And then I actually flip over my insignia and show the real side, which is the Thanatos Legion, the Legion of Death.
Okay.
And I set that down as that is my word.
Apologies.
Well, as much as I want to take your word, I do not know you. I see that you're part of the Legion. I really do, and I really don't want to do this. You can come with to grab your 2 companions. I'm totally okay with that. But your weapons will need to remain in the armory. If there are threats and rumors that you and your companions are trying to kill us when we do not know you, we don't know anything about you.
Take that Zwei handler and put it to the back of my neck. I will walk with my axe, you will walk with your sword, and we will go from there. I guarantee you'll be able to kill me before I can kill you.
Roll me a persuasion.
What is happening?
18.
He looks down. You can see he's very conflicted right now.
If it's any consolation to help situations, you can take my gear.
You're making this really tough on me, my man.
No, you're taking this really tough. Short one. There you go. Short one.
My man.
I can tell you're honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
You will, fine, but you will only take your axe. You will leave everything here.
I take the hand axe and set it on his desk.
Is
That's the only other weapon I have.
We gave him the rest of
I
stuff.
gave Porthos 1 hand axe, and I gave Bradley 4 javelins.
All right. You have no gold, no potions or anything.
I think I gave him all. I think I gave Sigrid all my gold and silver.
Well, he's just keeping an inventory. You still have.
Yeah, no, I gave someone the minor. No, I kept the minor healing potion. The rations I did have, but I believe I gave it to
I think we split them.
Porthos.
Better split them up.
Oh, we'll decide right now who has them.
I gave them probably to Porthos. If he divvied them out, then I don't know, but I gave them.
Go ahead and write this down since you're keeping trying to inventory it since he's not here. Who has what? Did any of you give anything to him?
No,
We'll establish that right now. Okay, so he has nothing. Does Nell have anything?
Well, I mean, I can't.
So did you literally give everything to the guy who steals things? Now, realistically, I know you're in a situation.
No.
That seems more advisable.
I did give them to him for him to divvy out. Now, if he did that afterward, I do not know.
Okay, all right.
But I gave him all the supplies that we had purchased at that time.
Okay. Because I'm making sure we're not trying to metagame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If in character you gave it to him, and he told him to distribute, and he didn't, which I can see him not doing, then...
Or forgetting to, yeah. Not saying that his character. I'm not saying that his character wouldn't. I'm just saying that like he
I
probably
don't think his
forgot.
character would. He fucking steals stuff.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
I feel like I should put in a report those everything.
Yeah. So the only thing you have
Would be-
no gold or anything. You have just your sword and shield or whatever.
So,
I have a mace left, a shield, and the armor that I'm wearing. Which,
He's cool with you guys keeping your armor.
okay, I was gonna say I'm not gonna walk around naked, but I'm
No, but he will require your shield, and now you can still get it back. It's once this is all
what the fuck?
looked over, everything's fine.
Oh, we are in a fucking.
And I'm handing it to
What
him in
is
good
happening?
faith, so that way he understands that we're not trying to go against him.
Right. And he's still gonna hold you up on the offer. He would
Yeah.
never do this, but he will have his blade on the back, but
Yeah.
only, and that's only because he does not know you guys. If there's rumors that you guys are here to kill Father Trish,
Oh yeah. By the way, we're evidently about to kill Father Trish.
Wait, I'm sorry.
We're not
what?
allowed to. Apparently, according to rumors.
Yeah. Well,
I'm assuming this
we
is the
rolled
same
in here
rumor.
for the sole purpose of killing Father Trish.
So he thinks that we're trying to kill the
No,
father.
he
Yes.
doesn't think that we're going to.
He
The
doesn't. think that we
rumors,
will.
while the rumors are out there, without proving them, we are under suspicion of we are.
It's gonna be
after
so
Dragon.
bad. There are these rumors, and we do end up killing Father Trish.
yeah, basically,
Because he's gonna fucking
in his
die.
he's in a situation where it's like, look, I don't want to do these to these guys, but I just want you guys to stay here till we solve everything else. You can hold on your weapons if you want to stay here. However, we're going to grab your two companions, bring them back here, and make sure Father Trish is safe. If he is safe and everything's fine, then we'll just blow over.
What do
It'll
you
be
have on
fine.
your Kindle?
But we need to gather and make sure everything is
Otherwise,
safe.
Besides your,
See, I am incredibly terrified
I
that
have-
Trey is sitting here
sorry,
sending you messages, doing shit that we're so unaware of.
Are you sending me messages?
I said Trey is.
yeah.
Like Trey is sending you secret messages. I just assassinated the father. I'm on my way back to the buddies. Like that's what I'm afraid of.
That's in our equipment.
Okay. I just kind of look at him and like shake my gold pouch. Is like, do I need to leave this too, or?
Just leave everything but your weapon. You can claim it all back once, but this is fallen over.
All right, I'll leave my
I would go
gold
dark,
pouch
but
with.
it's not going to turn off.
I'll leave my gold pouch with my hand axe.
All right. While you're doing that, he goes up to the door and he's saying, "I appreciate your cooperation. I know this is a lot, and I know this is not okay with you guys. I understand. You're traveling adventures. This is your lifeline. You're leaving here.
I'm just looking for those who killed my family, and I just start walking out the door.
Hold up. 1 second. He opens the door and he goes back and he says, "Jeffrey." You can see someone coming up and it says, and you can see him talking to him, whispering to him a little bit, and then Jeffrey kind of looks back at you guys,
No.
and he's like, "Yeah." And so he goes and he begins
that's
to.
bad.
Well, you can imagine
Dagger.
getting other people.
Yeah.
And he closes the door and says, "We'll leave in 5." Jeffrey is a squire of mine. He's just rounding up some troops to have you guys come with us to grab. I think his name was Sindred.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna go grab Sindred. You tell us where he's at, or escort us to where he's at, and then who was the last one? It was
Porthos.
And where's he at?
Last we heard, he was going to the church.
Hey guys, it's me again, the editor's note I was telling you about. I hope you guys are really enjoying this session so far, and you can see a lot of tensions being built up. Well, what's going on? Why are the players being accused of murdering Father Trish and stuff like that? There's a lot to be answered, and basically what happens is that Bradley asks them to leave their weapons because he's not really in a good position to really be like, hey, why don't you guys hold on to your weapons while being accused of being murderers while we go check on everyone and stuff like that? And their angry mob starts to build outside, and so, he's kind of put in a corner after trusting these guys, Russ and Nell, to be specific. But he's like, he does manage to convince them to leave all their stuff aside, their armor and Russ's great axe, who, he gave a good speech about it, and he rolled very well on his persuasion to let him hold on to it. And so, they went over there, he agreed to it, and so they went outside. The guards, garrison, are trying to, militia guys are trying to keep the angry mob away from them and stuff. You can hear them chanting like, they're in cahoots with the burning witch. They're trying to, they're the reason the children are missing and stuff like this, yada 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 yada. And they went to Fenrir's shop, who we last left off. We're trying to find him, but Russ was one of the ones that came to the shop saying, "Hey, look, it's cool, dude. Just come with us. There's a lot of crap going on. We just need to play along with it." And so, he comes along, and it's a little bit morbid journey going towards the church, because they're like, "Oh, there's an angry mob. We have nothing on us besides smelling the spellcaster stuff." Bradley, who's as you guys can tell, he's a pretty good guy. Again, by the way, I did not mean to call him a Goliath, and I did not know Goliaths cannot grow beards. Well, we learn something new every day. I'm not going to change it. Once I said it, it's set in stone until the next session happens, and I'm like, yeah, I thought about it. No, I don't want to do that. As far as I know, I'm cool with it. I just messed up with the idea of who are humans and non-humans, so my bad. But as they're journeying towards the church, they're talking amongst each other. Rush does give something to Bradley, saying, "Hey, look, if something does bad happen, give this to my surviving family member," and all this other stuff. Yada yada yada. It was a lot of good tension built up, but a lot of hey, what the hell is going on? We don't understand what's going on. And Porthos is at the church, and we're being called to kill Father Trish when all this started to happen as soon as we left. It's like someone was waiting for us to leave so we can have an opportunity to do this. Who knows? There's a lot of strings being pulled here, and it looks like our players, our heroes here, are being strung along like puppets. Needless to say, when they finally got to the church, they opened the doors, and what they found was Father Trish. They did find Father Trish. They did not find Porthos. And Father Trish was hanging on a goddess's statue, who, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Bloody Eagles by the Vikings execution, but it's basically, they're ripping open their ribs and their stomach and stuff and spewing out their organs and stuff. It looks like a big bloody, it's a very, very explicit description that I did. Google helped me a lot on that one. I just can't remember it offhand right now. My bad, guys. And I'm really sorry that you weren't able to catch the reactions. But here's a picture of their reaction right here. So, yeah. As you can see, they're pretty distraught right now. They're just like, So, who knows what's going to happen? As soon as the doors open, it was revealed. We cut the session right there. Right now, the players, they're talking to me a little bit and stuff like that. Went out to the bars and drank a little bit. They're talking about, what do we do? Do we kill innocent villagers? Do we just go along? Maybe we call it distraction, run away? Who knows what's going to happen? I honestly don't know what's going to happen. It's a very unique situation that I haven't seen many players in, where it's like, yeah, we can't escape, but morally, if we do, we might do something that will, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys again so much for taking the time to check out this episode of Critical Dragons. If you've gone all the way up to this point, that's really awesome of you. And, I got to give you applause for that one, because this is a lot of content. I don't know if we're going to do the next episode this long, because this was pretty long. And obviously it took me a while to record everything. And you could probably tell towards the end when I was doing the editor's note to put in the pictures and stuff over there. I was like, yeah, I need to get this out. So, yeah. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun doing this. Make sure to make sure to share it so more people can witness this. I won't really say witness. I meant more like watch it. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. But yeah, just throw us some love if you can. It'd be really appreciative. We'll try to give shout outs. I try to give a shout out every time we do the intro. If you making a very obvious effort to support us, I really want to give you a shout out and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna catch you guys later. I love you all, and I will see you again in the world of Yorn. Later.